Twitch. We're just here arguing about complaining about the price of guac.
Right? Hello, everyone. It's Wednesday. Welcome back to Recall Knowledge, a show where Pathfinder enthusiasts play through your favorite adventure paths. I'm your GM, Steve, and I'm joined by Ricardo, Richard, Ninna, and Tommy. Go ahead, everybody. Say, howdy, cowboys.
Howdy, cowboys.
Meanwhile, Richard I'm just going to wave. I'm not going to say shit.
If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. And if you've been with us for a while, welcome back. We're so happy you're with us. And just shout outs. Happy Pride Month to everyone out there.
Yes.
It is June 1st. They announced the renewal of our Flag Means Death today in honor of Pride Month, I believe. I think they just held off on announcing that, so that's cool.
I know, yeah.
What is this?
Just to save it for this month.
It's a gay pirate show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a pretty good show. So yeah, happy Pride Month to our cast and to our fans out there. We're happy that you're with us. It actually reminds me, since it's Pride Month, I got to switch to the Rollsmith Pride Dice, because the Rollsmith has a set of free Pride Dice. Yeah, they released it last year. They released a set of free dice for Pride Month, so I gotta remember to add that. Anyways, as usual, we're gonna be playing tonight, proudly playing on the Foundry virtual tabletop using the new premium Punks in a Powderkeg module. Make sure to grab your copy if you haven't already, because it's absolutely amazing. Now, before we get started tonight, we do need to give a shout out. Our lead sponsor for the evening, none other than Molten Hosting.
Woo!
Yeah, Molten. They're so hot.
Not cold.
Molten Hosting is the premier hosting solution for Foundry VTT, and they're a big supporter of not only the show, but the entire Pathfinder 2nd Edition community as a whole. And tonight, they've sent one of their mascots out to join and share their product with you tonight. They've been a guest on the show before. They're coming back for another go-round. Everyone, please give a round of applause for none other than the Molten Cowboy and his trusty horse, Old Faithful.
Why? Thank you there, Steve. You know, Old Faithful and I spend a lot of time out here on the Mana Wastes, with me just yarning the hours away. But even out here, nothing to keep us company but the stars and the bugs. Molten Hosting makes it easy to keep my game running smooth.
Whinny/horse noises. You'd think I would practice this more, but I see this line and it's so, what's this slash mean?
Whoa. Settle down there, boy. Settle down there. What's got you so spooked out here anyway? It doesn't matter. Tonight, I wanted to pull out my old air guitar and spin you a quick tune about Molten Hosting changing my life. Here it goes. Ring. I wasn't always a wandering cowboy. In fact, I used to have a wife. We loved to play Pathfinder, always escaping our real life. Her name was Calamity Jane, the most stunning looking broad, but I couldn't host my own server. Turns out I was a fraud.
That destroyed his home life. We couldn't go around disgraced.
That's why we live out here now in these lonely Mana Wastes. But now with Molten Hosting, I hope Jane hears my plea.
Use the code Recall Knowledge, one word, at checkout and save your marriage for free.
Thanks, Old Faithful. You know, I really do miss that there, Jane.
You have an interesting choice of remembering how things went down.
Jane?
Oh, this isn't good.
We've been looking for you a long time, Johnny. Haven't we, Casanova?
Someone actually does real horse noises. Show me up.
Horse noise. Oh no! It looks like the Molten Cowboy's past has finally caught up with him. Is she here for revenge? Or for rekindling their love? We will find out next time Molten Hosting sponsors our show. Woo. Good job, guys. Good job. In the meantime, head on over to moltenhosting.com and sign up for your service. It's a cloud-based Foundry VTT hosting solution with free backups, ample storage space, and easy FTP or WebDAV access to your files. And like the Molten Cowboy said, use the code RECALLKNOWLEDGE
One
One
word.
word.
One word.
at checkout, and your first month is free. Thank you, Molten Hosting, for sponsoring us tonight. Good.
Golf
Good.
clap.
Golf
Yeah,
clap
yeah.
for Molten Hosting.
Woo!
Also, we wanted to just put it out there. Keep in touch with the cast between shows. Drop by our Discord server. You can hit !Discord in chat on Twitch, or look in the link below the video if you're on YouTube to get a link. It's the best way to keep in touch with us, talk about all the episodes, let us know you're watching, and it's the easiest way to stay connected with the cast between, week to week. So we love to see you. More people have been joining, and I love to see it. So I thought I would put that out there. Join our Discord server and chat with us.
Yes.
All right.
Mute another Discord
There
server
you
in the long myriad of Discord servers you've
Yeah.
old posts
Yep.
joined over the course of the pandemic. I'm not adding myself.
Yeah, I've I've had to mute and or leave quite a few that I had joined. That's common these days. But don't you can mute us, just don't leave us, right? We love you guys too much.
You don't have to listen to me. Just don't leave me.
Exactly. All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it for announcements tonight. Are y'all ready to start playing some Outlaws of Alkenstar?
Wow.
Yeehaw, let's
Giddy
fucking
up, all
roll.
faithful.
I'm waiting for more of those mutated gnolls to burst out of the wastes and the fight's not over, but now we're split up.
Oh shit, you're right.
Bring it.
That's true. Well, viewers, go ahead, sit back and relax. And players, let's jump into tonight's episode of Outlaws of Alkenstar as we are playing Punks in a Powderkeg, written by Vanessa Hoskins. Let's go!
Happy Pride
Yeah!
Month!
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Gatekeeper, who do you see fit? You must not let them linger, for they will never quit. Bring this on myself. Nobody else. Tear me apart. Bring me glory. Get down before me.
On your cool queer stories, we have to go back to Outlaws of Alkenstar. Steve said,
Welcome back. So the camera fades in high over the nearly abandoned scrapyard outside of Alkenstar proper. Here in Old Ironside, the mana waste clash with the civility of the city, and we find our outlaws in the middle of a turf war between gnolls and goblins. Well, it was a turf war until last week. You guys made short work over the killing of a dog, was it? Roasted on the Spitfire, sent Hal
Yep.
over the edge.
Absolutely. I'll do it again too this week.
I'll fucking do it again.
And so as the camera is high, floating down towards our outlaws in this sort of abandoned knoll camp, we see the shield marshals on the outside where the scrap pile has been toppled, buying you guys plenty of time to make your escape. We are only moments from freedom as you guys have done what you set out to do. You've cleared the path towards the exit of the scrapyard. All that stands between you and freedom is those sewer entrances. So we can see now that the sort of outlaws have sort of dispersed or broken up a little bit. We see Saruk kind of walking, back towards the entrance where the Lord Glass and all of his nail gobblers are currently throwing a sort of celebration in honor of the outlaws and their quest. And the rest of the crew is kind of slowly picking through the remains of the gnolls. And we see Hal sort of standing over the spit roast, this sort of small corgi-sized dog, skinned, skewered, and rotating over the open flame. And as you're like looking around, sort of discarded remnants of the trash pile behind the camp, you see, just piles and piles of bones. Hal. And we fade in, sort of Hal standing over the fire.
All right. It's not sale, so y'all can take their belongings. I'm going to look in these tents over here, but we should get a move on here relatively shortly.
I think you as you're saying that, you already noticed that Saruk has already started making his way back towards the.
Oh, that's right. He's going to go check on our reward for both Monzi and getting rid of the gnolls. So maybe I can look around a little bit more.
Right.
Yes.
But I agree with you, Hal. I think we shouldn't linger on for too much here. We should take a gander and get back to Phoebe.
As Hal is sort of poking through these tents, you notice there looks to be about 5 moderately sized tents here, a pile of crates around the fire, and just digging through the tents, you do come across some quote unquote valuable belongings that belong to the gnolls, and I've revealed the sort of token over here, the treasure token that you can feel free to access.
Miss Mendoza, there's something over here you should take a look at.
All right, but I'm having a hard time moving. It feels that I'm on pause or something.
I unpause. Thank you very much.
Oh, there we go. I can move. Hang on, Hal. Revy, you coming?
Right, I'll join you a second there, Annie.
All right. Where at, Hal?
Right here in this tent. Can't miss it.
Ooh.
Yeah, and you see Anita has kind of going through one of the pockets of one of the did Anita go through the pockets of the thing, or just Hal?
I went through the pockets of the gnoll.
Okay, yeah, did you get the coins off it? Because I see in the chat it says Halbrand got the loot, but I don't know if Anita got the coins or not.
I just wrote 2 bolas and ruined leather.
Okay.
You can actually loot the tokens if you want.
You can actually loot it off their token to your token.
There's a few over here that Refi will pick over what's left.
Yeah, I mean each one of these gnolls has an old, gross leather. I mean, it kind of closer inspection, it almost looks like humanoid leather skin pouch. That's enough that clings, and as you open, each one has about 12 silver on them, plus whatever gear, other things they might have on them. And Hal, as you're poking through the tents, you start noticing it's not a giant pile of cash, but it's a lot of random knickknacks, like a little ring with an inscription that says "For my sunshine," and there might be a little locket with a child's picture kind of engraved inside of it. It's just a collection of small knickknacks and bits of treasure that has been stuffed kind of in their tents.
Well, go on. You're not shy. Pick that up. Help rebuild your robot.
No, I did, but it's. You see that Anita is excitedly picking at these coins, but she's struggling to carry all of them.
All right, well, I'm gonna pick this up then. Just remind me of that.
All right, let me give it to you because I picked it up for her.
Okay. All right.
God. Okay.
You need me to carry something for you? All right.
Yeah.
If there's anything else you need, let me know.
I will.
So the camera shows you guys sort of picking over the tents and going through this loot. Refi, are you like going over the knolls in the back, or is there something you're doing back there?
You see, once again, Refi walks away for a bit and away from the group. Damn it all. You see him aiming his pistol, and I'm gonna take a practice shot. Just
Okay.
Something I'm aiming at in the scrapyard.
If you want to make an actual attack roll, let's see how it goes.
I do.
So there is this sort of like peaceful silence. Like, you guys have made a lot of racket, right? Between all the gunfire and all the giant like airship that's like going across the scrap pile. It got pretty quiet again, but then there's another like gunshot that rings out through the whole scrapyard. 23. I mean, it looks like you picked that specific thing, exactly what you wanted to hit, and nail it.
Maybe I was just off in the moment. I say to myself, then pistol twirl, just for flavor, not the actual meat, and back into the holster. Take a walk and then start picking. You know, you left some coins over here. I'm rummaging through the Knowles pockets.
Did I?
Yep.
Don't worry, I'll grab them for now. We'll divvy it up later.
Alright.
You sort of take one of the pouches, right? And it's covered. There's like the sort of like disgusting pus-filled sacks like that are on the surface of this thing has like leaked right through like one of the gunshots and like dripped, so the whole like thing is just covered in like this thin, viscous, slimy pus.
Pretty gross.
Healer's tools come with antiseptic, right? It's fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah. So we see Reficule sort of dealing with that like pouch, and then the camera we see like right behind Reficule and right behind like Anita and Al. There's like this giant 6-7 foot tall pile of scrap, and the camera just kind of floats over it a little bit. And as it floats over it, we see like Saruk, who's basically like his head is like the same height as like the scrap, you know, so you can almost see Saruk like walking over the scrap, but he's just on the opposite side of that scrap, and he's kind of making his way very, I guess, what would they see with Saruk making your way towards the goblin camp?
I guess I thought these were like 20, 30 feet high. Now I realize they're at head level for me. I feel like I should have stood on a box and shot over.
Yeah, I would say like
Yeah.
8-ish feet, right? You're pretty tall though. You're like what, 7?
Mhm.
Yeah, because we were doing the like scale images earlier, which were cool. But you're pretty tall compared to these scrap piles.
So like, feel like when the combat ended and everything settled down, Saruk would have grabbed something sharp, presumably off like one of the knolls without an actual implement himself, and then cut an ear from each of them, and then walking back with mace is sheathed, ears in one hand towards the nail gobblers, towards Lord Glass, and then when he gets over here, approaches the one in charge and offers him the ears.
Okay, so they're
Your
all
foes
like,
have been vanquished.
yeah, they're all sort of around this campfire. You can see as they're walking up, one of the goblins is telling this like tale, and as you kind of come into view, the entire like group's focus and attention shifts to you, and like Lord Glass, who is kind of like leaned back and just listening to the story, realizes he has to kind of take that position of power, so he scrambles to the top of the box, and as he does so, that like heavy clinking of all the sort of jagged pieces of colored glass he has on his coat kind of weighs him down, and you watch as he almost topples over and falls headfirst into the fire, but catches himself and like stands up and tries to present himself all regal as you approach him. And he puts his arms, he's like, "You see, trusted Longshanks have delivered," and he reaches his hand out for like the sort of knoll ears.
Happily, I hand them over. We do what we can.
And then they put him with the Longshanks, and then even like over where like Anita and everyone is, you just hear the sort of like roaring of goblins like Longshanks, 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 and the goblins sound really excited about this, and they kind of like take the knoll ears, instead of eating them or doing anything with them, they kind of pass them over to be pickled as like trophies for later. and Lord Glass comes down from the box, comes over to you, and is comically short compared to you, and reaches his like hands up, and he has his hand, and in his hand he has almost like an extender stick that has another hand at the end that he can squeeze to like open and close. He's got like a grabo hand, and he reaches his hand up towards your hand to shake it with the extendo hand.
And Sir happily takes it. We found your lost craftswoman as well. She's fine. Short answer.
Oh yeah, you see Monzi has joined the crew, and she's kind of on the other side, and she's sitting here with the rest of the goblins, excited as well.
Oh, never mind. You're right there. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. No, she told us your great heroics and how you saved her and how you drained our swamp or our lake, and how much we owe you. Like, I mean, honestly, what should we call you guys as we tell your tales? Longshanks don't reflect your true status amongst our kind. What should we call you, Longshanks? And the whole like goblin kind of wait with bated breath.
I call us. Saruk begins frantically looking around for anything to immediately grab and like, it's that.
There's like a
call
campfire
us,
and a spigot or like a little roaster thing, and there's like a bunch of pickled jars. So it's like you're looking for anything to like help you spark.
Call us fire. No, not that. That'd be. Just call us friends.
Friends. And then Lord Glass says, from this day forth, these Longshanks shall be known as friends. And there's like a roaring applause as the goblins sort of really are happy that you guys have done all this. You can see like Lord Glass is you can read his body language. He's basically trying to avoid paying you what you're owed, you know? Like he's just not going to bring it up unless you bring it up.
Well, we need to get going. There's a lot of people behind us that are. You don't want them to come through here. You'd said something about payment.
Oh yeah, right. Do me a favor. Turn around and close your eyes again. It's in the secret hiding spot.
I'm sure. And Saruk does so.
And he goes over to his crate that he was just standing on, and you can hear he's not quiet at all. He like lifts the crate, and there's like a bunch of rustling as the crate like topples over, and he picks up like the box and rights it. And it takes about 30 seconds of comical like banging and crashing, and then he's like, "Okay, you may turn around."
And so I do.
And as you turn around, he's got a sort of nice, like ornate box in it, and he lifts it up and holds it up towards you and opens the lid. And in this moment, there's almost like a little bit, I think, of a flashback for you, Saruk, because as the lid on this ornate silver box, it's definitely old and rusty, and it was once nice, but it wasn't. He opens the box, and we see a sort of solid chunk of metal just sitting in the middle of the box. This is the most prized scrap that the goblins have come across, and a lot of people might not even know what this is, but Saruk, you are instantly sort of you're looking at the box, and we blink and we see we're in another place, right? We're back in is it Madalaki? What's the name of the town, the city you're from?
The city is Madakali.
Madakali. Okay, so I was close. Madakali, and we're in the middle of some sort of ceremony. We can see Saruk is much younger than he was now, and his tusks are jutting up out of his mouth. But unlike the Saruk you know now, there are no metal sort of linings over it, and you look around in this moment, and you can see your friends, your family, your colleagues. This is your coming of age ceremony here in your tribe, and you're sort of father figure is there in front of you, and he too is holding a box. And that box is the same chunk of metal that you're being presented with now. A cold iron chunk that will be formed into a weapon that you will wear on your tusk until, day you die, I guess. And there's that moment of like rushes back to you in this familiarity of this moment, and then you blink again, and we're back here in the goblin camp with like this rowdy group of goblins and this Lord Glass presenting you the cold metal iron chunk.
Thank you. You just found this laying around here? This is... Just thank you. And Sir takes it out of the box.
Oh, yes. This is the best scrap that we found as nail gobblers. This we're saving for a special occasion.
I appreciate it.
Special use.
I'm sure I'll find something to do with it. I need to catch up with everyone else. We've overstayed our welcome. You are far too kind. Sir bows again and starts heading back to the team.
Yep. You can add. I don't have like a. Wait, do I have a loot token? Oh, I do. Let me reveal this for you so you can take it to your character sheet. So right here, by the campfire, you can take the cold iron chunk from Lord Glass and add it to your character sheet. Yep. So you take the cold iron chunk and you're kind of walking away, back towards where the rest of your crew is sort of going through the camp, and like what's going through Saruk's mind in this moment.
A lot of... God, I don't even know. Nostalgia, the sensation of being very far from home, the notion of when folks don't know what they have and then they pull it out of a place like this, that's sort of like diamond in the rough kind of feeling. Mixed with a little bit of, ow, something bit me. My arm hurts a little. I feel like the need to GTFO as fast as possible is overriding a lot of the we need to think about this immediately.
Of course. And you're just kind of retracing your pathway through the graveyard, through the scrapyard. It's now a graveyard, now that you've killed a bunch of gnolls.
There it is.
Right?
Yeah.
But, we retrace your step through the now drained lake with a giant metal box that has, like, punctured and drained this disgusting water out of here. Past sort of giant airship that has been blocking the way, the haunted airship, and towards your fellow outlaws up at the gnoll camp, working their magic and kind of pouring over all the stuff, and you can rejoin them.
Lord Glass was kind enough to give us a chunk of cold iron in return for waves at the bodies as Sir goes walking past them.
Yeah, we picked up a bunch of just knickknacks from these basins. Found some like little rings and jewelry here in this tent, but I couldn't find nothing else. So once we get out of here, we'll just divvy up everything. So Refugio was picking up all the stuff over there, and Anita was frantically running back and forth trying to get it all. But well, she wasn't strong enough.
Yeah. Oh, also it dawns on me when we were back at the bank, I found a ledger. We can talk about it when we're not in immediate threat of danger, but I think it'll help us trace the snakes back to their den. But is there anything else you need to grab, or should we get out of here?
Let's get rolling, moving, running.
Let's crack on. Good to see you, Tuss. I thought the goblins might have ate you when we heard them yelling out for Longshanks.
No, not quite. Fortunately, I brought the pickles.
I mean, if you looked over the scrap things, you could see his man bun just popping as he walked through.
It's true. Could always find you in a crowd. That's good to know.
Apologies for blowing our cover.
Could put a little flag on it, even.
Just stick it right there.
Like a tour guide.
Oh, yeah.
Just follow me, Wave's head.
All right, let's go, y'all.
Shall we? Let's head to these sewers
So
before Angelique catches up with us.
We see now, like, sort of Hal sort of leads you guys off into the darkness around the bend, past the gnoll camp, and as it sort of comes around a sort of a tight bend, you see it open up quite a bit. Most of you guys don't see much here in the dark. I will say that specifically calling out that Hal, right, is not have normal dark vision. Hal can see in this dark, perfectly colored. And so while most people just see like a muted sort of grayish landscape, Hal, you're presented with a giant, vibrant green sort of fungus patch here in the back of the scrapyard. This is the first sort of life of plants you've seen out here, which, you know, if you're going to see life and plants in the mana waste, it's usually some sort of fungus. But there appears to be a giant, mossy green patch, oversized mushrooms growing out of everywhere. And just, you're struck with like a bright, vibrant color. You did.
You see that over there? They're all greens and oranges. I mean, there's probably a giant toad in there with 3 or 4 eyes. I'm not really sure we should. Oh, hell, we got to get through there. How are we going to get through there?
I don't see any green.
Yeah, it's right there. Just, you know, pointing at all the mushrooms.
It's too dark. What? It's just gray.
Oh, I just said you could see in the dark.
I get why, but it's a bit muted. Didn't know that you could see colors. Can you see colors, Tusk?
I cannot. Our eyes must have evolved differently.
Yeah,
I
I
wasn't
guess.
expecting to see any plant. Well, I guess fungi aren't plants, but a welcome if dangerous change. Do you think they'll jump out at us?
I don't know. Speaking of fun guy, why don't you head up there, Reficule, and sneak up front?
I mean, I'm not a nature kind of person. I grew up in the city. I don't deal with mushrooms. Are those mushrooms? I didn't know mushrooms even got that big.
I've seen them bigger. Saruk reaches down, picks up some kind of hand-sized bit of scrap and hucks it forward as far as he can.
Okay. Yeah, so like, if you look at the patch, right, it looks like on the side, kind of hugging where the scrap sort of metal sections are, is where it's densest. And right down the middle, it looks like it's been worn, like there's a well-worn path where like footprints and constant trudging back and forth may have eased a bit of it. So where are you throwing your sort of scrap metal? Are you throwing it towards like the middle of the path? Or are you aiming for like the more dense, like clusters of the mushrooms?
I think like shooting for this specific mushroom here, but if it lands somewhere in here, that's fine too. Saruk mostly wants to see A, if something will move when sound happens, B, if the fungus gets hit, if it like pops in a cloud of spores or something like that.
Perfect. Yeah, you grab that sort of hunk and you chuck it, and it sails through the sky and kind of hits that giant, thick clusters of mushrooms. And as it hits, it actually kind of like buries into like the sort of trunk of one of these thick mushrooms and embeds itself. And there's like a sort of jagged bit of metal that's like shooting out of it. It doesn't. Well, why doesn't everyone go ahead and give me a perception check, and we'll see what you notice or what you don't. Except for Anita. Anita's too far away to see anything.
That's a 16 for Refi.
14 for Hal.
I assume that these are not gnolls. 23!
Yeah, not bad, not bad. No, these are not gnolls. So what you don't see, first of all, are any sort of spores or anything like that. The mushroom hits. You hit the mushroom. It like sort of shifts its weight a little bit as you've cut through the supporting trunk. It doesn't look like it gives off any sort of poisonous spores. Nothing immediately rushes out. There doesn't appear to be anything reacting to that throw you did. But Ruficule and Saruk both notice, not here where you've aimed, but in the sort of southern edge of the structure, there does appear to be, when you throw that over there, there's a little bit of shifting and movement as a couple of the mushrooms sort of sway. You don't see any people, any gnolls, but there is something kind of in that area, that southern edge of the patch. Now, Hal, I think maybe the reason you don't see this is that your eyes have zeroed in on something else. Around this sort of like pathway on the north and south end, you see small hills of fungus, like not as big as mushrooms, just a small mossy cloud with tiny mushrooms growing out of it. And what you notice is on the sort of southern end, there is the shape of this sort of mossy pile. It looks like a tiny, or not even a tiny, it looks like a pretty decently sized Rottweiler sized dog sort of in this like fungus patch, but like where the skin would be, sort of the moss and the mushrooms have taken over its skin, and it's now growing sort of fungus on the animal itself. Not moving, not alive, just
Refugee. See that patch right there? In the middle? Little humpback. It's moving around and it's wagging its tail. But it's got like fungus growing out of it. Think you can pick him off from here?
I see what you're pointing at, but I'm not really. Do I see movement there?
you don't. Once he points it out, you can see it's hard to see without the color of the surrounding shapes. But once he points it out to you, you too can see it, that there is this Rottweiler size, like fungus covered dog creature thing right there, but no movement. And
You want me to shoot it?
Your eyes
Thought you liked dogs.
also looking around, and Saruk, as your attention focus follows what they're talking about, you see like dozens of these sort of clumps around this sort of mossy graveyard of pets. You realize now that there
There's
are
that graveyard God's been talking about.
yeah, you realize now there are, this is almost like a pet. This has become like almost like a pet cemetery, and there are different animals, cats, dogs, in various states of decay and mossy growth all over this patch.
Don't shoot. Yeah, hold your fire. I don't have a lot of training for things like this, but I might be able to pull something out of my head. I'd like to recall knowledge about what the heck we're witnessing.
Of course.
I'm
You
guessing
can,
this is nature.
yes, let's go ahead and do a nature recall knowledge nature on this, unless you have some
Recall
other
that knowledge.
specific lore. Mana waste lore I would allow you to use on this one, Hal, and what you're saying, Rifkill.
What do you know? I have mushroom dog lore.
Wow! Holy shit! So glad.
How
I
specific?
rolled question mark, and I won't look at Twitch to see what I rolled because that would be cheating.
Yeah.
Oops. Well, that wasn't much. Anyways, I don't see none. Them dogs are alive.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you come up with, Hal, is that this is sort of a thing that the mana waste will do sometimes. You've heard of this, which is basically turning like animals into like zombified, not like zombies like undeath, but like they get infused with like primal magic and reanimate as like a fungus reborn thing, and will go across the mana waste and just devour everything in its path until every bit of organic matter has turned into fungus, and you're convinced that this is.
Yeah, if we linger too long, we're gonna end up like them. They'll attack us and they'll drag us down to the ground, and then they'll bite on us, and then inject us with some kind of fungus-like fungus, and we'll end up like them. So we either have to light it on fire or get through it real quick.
A fungus like fungus, you don't say.
And Saruk, you've heard similar stuff, not quite with the slant that Halbrand's giving you, but it is definitely possible that like fungus can sort of take over living matter and animate it in some way. It's not as you don't have the zombie slant. It's more of like just a byproduct of the spores controlling the brain of the creature, and not so much of let's go destroy everything. But you come to a similar conclusion looking at these, that it could, if you were to get too close to them, they may infect you.
There are places in the expanse where spores can get inside one's lungs and then from there spread to the brain. It's a whole thing. Let's just keep moving. Don't get close to it.
See, this is why I don't like nature. No. Give me the city any day.
In this case, I may tend to agree with you. Who am I and what have I done with me?
Be like
Fungus
I'm in a
like fungus.
scary novel.
Oh shit, there's a fungus among me.
Right. Poor Anita's in the back, like hearing them describe all these horrors.
Can't see
Nature.
shit, and you all just keep talking about like these scary things. Fungus, zombie funguses,
Just come with us.
Fuck.
Here.
fungi.
Reffy, she's talking to you.
I hate
So-
this.
Yep, as you kind of like start going, you realize now that like as long as you stay like in the well-worn path, the middle, where you see like countless numbers of like knoll-sized footprints going to and from, you absolutely could avoid where these sort of corpses are clustered. And as you make your way there, you look across and you can see like once you get through the fungus patch, at the very end of the scrapyard is a giant oversized sewer tunnel pipe, which is the promised sewer entrance access. Although one of the things that Phoebe had hoped that you would find when you were here is like some goblin that could help guide you through the tunnels. But at this point, you're kind of entering the tunnels without a map, right? You're just sort of looking to wing it at this point.
Maps. We don't need maps.
This group went through abomination vaults. They're already really good at moving around underground and definitely not getting lost.
That's true. We had no maps. We had a hand-drawn map.
Right.
Diamond
So,
spot.
why don't the two that have experience with abomination of plants and spores and mushrooms that are going to eat your brain away take the lead?
For what it's worth, Saruk is going to hold his breath.
Okay. Yep. All right. Well, that's pretty fast there, Hal. Hang on a second. Let's mosey on back here for one moment.
Nope. We already made it.
We got a really good skill feat. It's called Assume That We Were Safe.
Yeah. So you make your way through the middle, and you're holding your breath, Saruk, trying not to breathe in any of the sort of spores, and anyone is welcome to hold your breath. There are specific rules for holding your breath. That is basically you can hold it for a number of rounds equal to like 4 plus your con mod. I think it's your con mod, and there's like a base plus your con mod. But if you attack or cast a spell, you lose 1 round of breath, and if you cast like a verbal spell, you lose all your breath. So I just found it interesting that there were unique granular rules for what it takes to hold your breath, which, you know, not that it matters in this case, or why was I studying them, but I'm just saying, I thought it was kind of cool, and Pathfinder had that I hadn't come in before.
Suspicious.
I forget that y'all came from 5th edition, because I'm like, yeah, you can hold your breath for a number of rounds equal to your constitution score. For a standard action, it's -2, swift is -1. Afterwards, you have like 3 rounds. Begin speaking in 3.5 all over the channel.
Yeah, that was old school. But yeah, in 5e, you can just hold your breath forever, basically.
Wow.
Anyways, it's like
OP, please nerf.
Anyways, as you guys kind of make your way here and you get into the middle of the fungus patch, your eyes are down here to the south where you know that there was some movement earlier, and your eyes sort of stay trained on it, and you're looking for any sort of creature that might be ready to pop out. But what surprises you is not so much that there is a creature or an animal, a knoll, or anything like that. It's an actual sort of animated mushroom itself that sort of steps out from the side of the mushrooms. And so we see kind of hiding on the edge right here. Let me share the art because it's pretty cool art.
Thing's got too many eyes.
That is fucking terrifying.
I can't see.
That's for the best.
Whoa.
It's this weird mutated mushroom creature with like spider eyes, and it's got like this mushroom cap head. That's why it was so hard to see, because it was like blended like a mushroom right here. It is a leshy, right? It is a fungus leshy here, and there's another one.
So
Sort of.
cute.
He's so cute.
Secret player 5 joins the chat
Nope.
with their fungus leshy wizard or whatever the hell.
Right. So there's 2 of those, but there's actually one more here.
God, there's more.
This is getting out of hand.
there's another Leshy, a slightly bigger, slightly more
She's not
angry
as
Leshy.
cute.
It's the
This
mouth
is
of Sauron.
Sims. Oh my god. No, it's got eyes. Got
It's the
1,
mouth
2,
of
3,
Sauron.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 eyes.
Sharp teeth, almost got these flower petal like robe gown thing going on, and they're pretty small. They're like knee sized. They're about the same size.
So cute.
I think they're about
Famous
the
last
same
words.
size as Mushi was. They're considered small. And behind this one, as he steps out, you can see behind him, there's a giant chunk of loose debris, almost like a safe or a cabinet that was very clearly on the pile of scrap metal behind this fungus patch. And you look up and you can see where the giant airship has like hit it and has somehow dislodged this. It's fallen down right into the middle of this sort of garden, and underneath it you see the dead body of one Leshy just crushed beneath the weight of that like debris, with its like sort of hand like out there. Spore, like there's a fresh glittering glowing mushroom cluster grown around this dead crushed body, and this guy steps out from the fungus patch and has some of the glowing spores on his hands, the blood of his dead comrades, as he gives himself war paint up the side, and he only says, "I am the storm," as he like rushes out with these angry looking fleshies to...
I'd imagine me more like, I am the storm.
Yeah.
Oh no, an accident. An airship fell on your comrade. I wonder how
Those-
that happened.
Because those damn gnolls.
We couldn't have
Oh,
done it. The
no.
fungi has grown way too fast. I hope. Are we the baddies?
Gotta go now, bye.
But you
Right.
go ahead
I don't
and
speak
roll.
Sylvan, but in Sylvan I say, oh, I'm sorry.
That's true. They are. I think they're speaking common at least. They want you to.
Shumfalo.
Yeah.
Refi does not like this.
No.
He just heard that these things will eat your brain and turn you into some spore zombie.
This is the part where I wrote a really
Oh.
terrible backstory for this creature and everything that happened, like from him as a child to now and why he's so angry. But it's too long for our stream, so I'm not going to do it. But I will post the short story on my Twitter, so go read it and see what's up with this fellow.
I forgot to turn on 10 paces, so that's a 22 actually.
Okay.
If you're a Patreon subscriber, you can get it before everyone else is.
That's true.
Before
Patreon's
everyone
true.
else
Yeah,
does.
If you're a guest cast member, when do you get it? Because I'm very curious.
I will share it with you. It took a turn in the middle of my writing of it, I will say.
Oh no.
Right? They're fungus
Not surprised.
creatures. Obviously, you start writing, next thing you know, you're writing about phallic. So let's
What?
go
That's a
ahead.
penis.
Happy Pride Month, y'all.
Happy Pride!
So, up first, not Shoomfollow, but the followers of Shoomfollow.
Shumfollow.
This fungus Leshy, no weapons in his hands, right? Just steps out, and they're just like, "We are the storm!" And they're like rushing you guys. Actually, I guess he doesn't need to rush. From where he is, he targets Saruk, and he does a spore pod attack. So it kind of like shoots a little like spore, almost like a arm blaster cannon at you. Let's see if he can hit.
No stuns, but that hits on the dice.
15 on the dice, which is a 22 total, which does hit. So you get hit for 1 point of damage. It hits you in the
Ow.
chest, and then it gets up, right? The spores, you're holding your breath, but these spores don't seem to affect you in your breathing. It gets up into your eyes. So I need you to make a fortitude save against this thing. I could put the thing in chat so you can just click it. But I need you to make a fortitude save against the spores. But they're not... It's not a breathing thing on this specific one.
Sure.
Ooh, a 14 is actually a failure. Okay, so you take 1 persistent poison damage as these things are now blurring your vision, and your vision is reduced, so you can only see 10 feet away from you. So you only have a maximum vision of like 10 feet right now.
Wow, that's really good if a whole bunch of people decided to play like gunslingers or like things that would want to use ranged attacks. If you cut their vision significantly.
Yeah.
I think they did that on purpose.
He's still within your vision, at least. And then with his second attack, he has a range increment of 30 feet. Yeah, so his second attack is going to be to reach over here towards Reficule and make the same strike with a penalty. That is an 11.
That's a miss.
Yeah, the spore. He shoots the spore at you. It misses you. With his third action, he kind of like uses some of the mushrooms in this area. He's gonna take cover in the mushroom patch. This one up here, and he can't. So he steps out about 10 feet from his mushroom patch. He targets Halbrent, and he does a spore pod attack with his first action. That is a 10. That's not gonna do it. And I guess his second action will be a multiple attack penalty spore blast. Sorry, his third action. That's a natural 1. The GM's luck has run out tonight. That is a crit fail. I don't know if you have anything that at level 1 that activates on a crit fail. However, that is the end of the followers of Shumfallow's turn, and that brings us to Reficule.
Alright. Refi will, So all 3 of them took their turns already?
No, the other one has its own initiative order.
Oh, initiative,
follow.
okay.
Yeah.
Seeing how the one took cover, Refi will target the one that stepped out.
Okay. Are you going to use your 10-foot free move?
Let me see. 5. I will move back 5 feet.
Okay.
Step 5 feet.
Yep.
That puts him at 60 feet, which is still within my range.
Dueling
Free action to draw my dueling pistol.
That is right.
And for my first action, I'll use cover fire.
Okay.
On the one that just attacked Hal.
Okay. So his choice is. Can you put the choices in chat so I can say them real quick? One of these days I'll memorize them, I'm sure. This is not like
We got like a year before the campaign ends. At some point between
Right.
here and there, you'll get it figured out.
So they can either choose to take a
They can duck
bonus
up
to their
the-
AC, right?
Yes.
If the target ducks, it gains a +2 circumstance bonus to AC, +4 if it has cover. It also takes a -2 circumstance penalty to any range attack it has until the end of its next turn.
Perfect. So in this case, this thing does duck out of the way. It's smart enough to try to get out of the way of your shot. So it's going to get a +2
+2, right?
chance bonus. Yeah. You can just make the roll, and then he would basically just get... I'll just give him like standard cover to track the +2 he gets.
That's a 26.
26, even... Okay, so 26 would have been a crit if not for the +2 cover he got from the cover fire, so it turns into a regular hit.
That's fine. That's 7 damage still, max damage.
Woo-hoo.
7 points of damage, takes the whole thing as you like the dueling pistol sort of tears right through this soft fungus sort of body of this thing. It doesn't go down, it's still up, but you have hurt the hell out of it.
Alright, and then I'm going to use Raconteur's Reload.
Mm-hmm.
Against it again. Against the same one.
Is
and
the
say...
what's the range? I know some of it's limited to 30 feet.
Oh, I guess
I think Immoralize is 30 feet, but what about...
Immoralize is 30 feet.
The other one might not be. What's the other one called?
Create a distraction. Create a diversion.
Yeah, create a diversion does not have a range limit. So you can do a
Alright.
diversion.
So I will create a diversion against not that one. I'll create a diversion against the one that took cover.
Okay.
And say, like, pretty much say, you're next if you don't hide. And I want him to like literally like so he can't see any of us.
Okay.
But gun's not actually loaded yet. I'm gonna do that after he hides. So
Yep,
I'll make a deception check.
The deception check. Oh boy.
That's a 25.
Killing it.
And this is
Nice.
against the will save, right? It's gotta
Yeah.
be. Yeah,
You're so
critical
good at
success.
Pathfinder. Nice.
So good at Pathfinder.
All right, so then I reload. And then
Created a version on a critical success. I guess there's no critical success, just success. So you become hidden to that creature. It lasts until the end of
Right.
your turn or until you do anything other than step or use the hide or sneak action. If you attack it, it's flat-footed against your attack.
but it has cover. I guess I should have done the other one. Oh well. I already did it, so I'll attack that one then with a map attack.
Okay, yeah. He was just out of your range for the 30 feet anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So he's flat-footed.
If you
right?
didn't 5-foot cowardly sneak away, you would have been in range for it. Just, yeah, go ahead and make the attack.
That's an 18.
Still a hit, even with the cover and everything. Actually, yeah. So I didn't put the toggle flat-footed, but it's a hit. It's a hit.
All right.
We get max damage again. Close.
Close.
Ooh,
6
almost.
damage.
So just like that, blast through, put a giant hole in the center chest stem of this mushroom creature.
All right, and
Not
I
bad.
believe that's all of my actions. That's end of Refy's turn.
All right, up next is Shoomfollow. Shoomfollow is going to take a different approach than his friends here, so he's going to spend his first action striding out right at Halbrand. Second action. I guess that's probably not good. He's just gonna rush out and he's gonna punch you, Hal. First attack. 17 on the dice for a total of 25.
Hit.
That is gonna hit. So that's gonna be 6 points of bludgeoning damage. And I need you to make a okay, I'll just put this in chat. I need you to make a Fortitude saving throw. Also, I never changed my dice to pride dice.
Yeah, jeez, what's wrong with you?
9 is a failure, so you also
Wanna use
take
a hero
1.
point?
Oh yeah, do it. Hero point it up.
Hey guys, look, the boss is taking persistent poison damage. This is dope.
Oh, yeah. No. You make the save, so you're fine. And then third and final action is to make a multiple attack penalty attack against you. 19 on the die for a total of 23.
Jeez.
You are going to take 1 point of bludgeoning damage, and I need another Fortitude saving throw. Every time he hits you, like off of his body, spores like jump up. 15 is fine. You are fine. And that's Shoomfollow's turn. Al.
All right, I will make a snagging strike against this creature with
Okay.
my longsword.
Go for it.
Damn you. That's a
Off to
12.
19.
12's gonna miss.
Second attack.
Yes.
All right.
23.
23 will hit.
5 points.
5 points of damage, and it's now snagged with your free hand, and he's flat-footed until the start of your turn, I think.
Yep. And I think I'm going to make a third attack.
Okay. A 9 misses.
That's my turn.
All right. The Rook.
Okie dokie. So then, top of the round, targeting the one who is covering and has bullet holes in him. Never mind. JK. Targeting the one that's not covering, doesn't have bullet holes in it, and is directly in my path. What does the dice say?
The one that had shot at you, the one down here.
The one over here. Listen. the boss if I'm not moving.
Yeah. It's
So
okay.
that,
So a 22. Your stratagem's gonna come up with a 22.
I think what I'm gonna do is stumble forward blindly with a bunch of shit in my eyes to 5, 15, and then 20, moving at the diagonal to draw it pretty quickly, like that. There and then there.
Okay.
For one action to run around. Well,
Like
they're
right
5
through
foot.
the sort of like the fungus covered animal corpses stuff off the beaten path. Stepping
And
over the
then-
cat.
Excuse me, cat. I need to get into a flanking position. At which point I'm gonna swing at him with my tusks. Does a 22 hit?
22 is a hit, but not a crit.
Nice. So then turning on all of them.
Biting that mushroom. Ah.
I'm not biting him. It doesn't open his mouth. My teeth come out.
Okay, you're right. It's,
We don't
it's
bite
more
the
of a,
poisonous thing.
it's more of a
I'm stabbing him with my
upward
face.
stab. That's
Yeah.
true. You're holding your breath. Your tusks are hanging out. You're doing this.
So I gotta. I think this is the right damage. Yeah. So they take. I cannot read those dice at all. 9 points of piercing damage.
All right, 9 points of piercing damage. You tear through the sort of your like tusk go right through the like easily fleshy, fungusy parts of this thing and do a lot of damage. But still up.
That makes 3. At the end of the turn, my dice really hate me, and I take a single point of persistent poison damage.
Yep. You take the 1 point of persistent damage, and the poison continues like eating, like in your eyes or whatever.
Mhm.
All right, Anita.
Alright. I'm having a miserable time here because I can't see shit. So I'm
Having a
gonna
bad
target
time.
this cute little leshy with my short bow.
Okay, just checking something real quick. The ever burning torch, right? It's
Yeah. Good job.
what's the
Great.
light range on that thing?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Same as a normal
20
torch,
and
right?
20, I think.
Is it just 20? It's just a torch, right? Same as a normal
Mhm.
torch.
I can see him in like a dim
So
light.
it's yeah. So where you are, right? He's 30 feet away. He's in the dim light, so he's concealed to you. So you can make the attack roll, but there's a chance because he's in this dim light, you might just miss because of that. You can either get a little closer, so you're within 20 feet, and not have that penalty, or it's a DC 5 flat check to target something that's concealed.
I'll get closer.
Okay,
Not close enough.
I think you gotta be one more.
One more. Yeah, I'll take the diagonal.
Yeah, that's still 25 feet.
What the heck? There you go.
That's
20.
Yeah. So you stumble, so just the light just barely like bathes him in light.
Where is he? Where is he?
Oh, look, he's right here. It's so cute. But why is he trying to fucking attack us? Oh, there.
Because they want to eat our brains, Annie.
Oh,
Didn't
that's
you hear
so
what-
true. That's true. Hal did say that. All right, here
You've
we
also-
go.
I'm also assuming you've rigged something so your torch is just like on your belt loop, like cool,
Yeah.
so you can have your hands free for the bow. The natural one is
That's a
gun to
natural
miss.
one. I'm going to. Because how might I? Use a hero point for that one.
Hal's been doing push-ups the whole scrapyard. It's fine. It's par for the course.
Oh, that's a 15.
The 15 is actually he's not flat-footed to you.
He's not flat-footed.
He was flat-footed to Ruffy. 15 is going to miss thanks to the cover he took.
No.
So
Alright.
you shoot the arrow, and because he took cover behind this like mushroom fungus like trunk, your arrow hits the trunk, but just barely misses like where they would be.
Alright, so they could understand common, yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna try and be far enough to hear me. Hello, Miss Lady. My name's Anita Kieran Ulysses Mendoza. Please, hey, you want to eat my brain? Eat my brain. I'm gonna try and persuade her to attack me instead.
Okay.
You eat my brain. It's always been curious.
You're trying to get them to come eat your brain. Okay, yeah, make a persuasion check.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's
try.
like a taunt check. We need like it's like we're playing an MMO. We
Is
need
it
the
a taunt? I want them to like. Would it fall under like diplomacy?
There are
or
specific
society?
feats and things that fall for this. In this case, it's going to be a. Oh yeah.
I'll hit him with one of their bond knots.
Because there's no, like, persuasion.
Yeah.
Your brains are really tasty.
Give
My
me
brain's really tasty. I'm
She's
very
objectively the smartest one of us.
give me a society check.
society.
The most wrinkles.
14.
14 is success, so you see you've kind of gotten its attention coming your way at least. It looks like you've got its attention.
I am an alumni of Blithy College. Do you know that? Ah.
It's under no it's under no like mechanical need to attack you, but I think it wants to just because you're like annoying.
Because you're rubbing your pedigree in its face.
Yeah.
I went to college.
I know you want to. Come on. This isn't completely mad.
All right, so this one's no longer in cover because its turn's starting. So it's like looking in your. It already like tried shooting at Reffy, and now you stood between Reffy and it. So I think it like turns its spore at you, targets you, and shoots the like spore pod right at you, Anita. 17.
Oh, hits.
It does hit. You take 1 point of damage. The spores get in your eyes. I need you to make a Fortitude save.
Fortitude. Oh, that's a 21.
Yep, 21's a success, no problem.
Woo.
And yeah, you know what? It'll do it again.
We'll fucking do it again.
14 on the dice makes a total of 16, which
That
just
hits.
hits you.
Yeah.
3 points of damage and another Fortitude save.
Fortitude save. That would be Happy Pride. Hey, 21.
Nice.
Yeah, no problem. You managed to not get hit by any.
Love wins.
Boom.
All right.
Oh.
The other one now steps here, so it's flanking with Shumfalo around you, Saruk. Targets you with a fist attack. 14 on the
That'll
dice
hit.
for a total of 20. That is a hit, but not a crit. Yeah. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage and must make the. Actually, no. On the melee attack, for this one, it doesn't have it, so you're good. It's only the ranged attack that has that. And for its third and final action, it tries to attack again.
I bet it does. I bet it does.
That's a natural 20 on the dice.
Anita just said love wins. Did you not? Did you not
No-
get the memo? Jeez.
No
Jeez.
crits for the
Damn.
GM. I'm gonna give myself crits in chat for the GM. Let's
Well-
see. Critical damage. 8 points total.
Mm.
I'll put Wybird on here just so that.
Ooh, you stay up.
Wybird crit.
But that's all of these creatures' turn. Refuel.
Oh boy.
All right. Damn it. First action, I will. Stride to here. Second action, I'll use Reconter's Reload. Targeting the creepy one that looked like the Eye of Sauron in between Tusks and Hal.
Sure.
So I'll demoralize, saying, "You want to end up like your friend under that cabinet? You just stay where you are."
Go ahead and make that intimidation check.
Come on, Reffy.
That's 19.
19 is a success. That makes him frightened one.
Then
He
I'm
spins-
going to.
You see him like mouthing the words, like, I am the storm, I am the storm. And you say this to him, and he just turns at you, and you can just see the horror in like the dozens of eyes like floating over his legs.
Oh boy.
His like stamen eyes are now like looking in your direction, all scared.
And I'm going to aim right in between his ugly mouth.
He's hit.
Yeah, right.
Okay. 17 is a hit, but not a
Still
crit.
Great.
Are there you don't know the anatomy of a mushroom person to like actually hit the critical hit, but that is a hit.
Do I risk it?
Oh, you're talking about.
I'll I'll save my hero point.
Got it.
Yes,
That's still 9
Roughly.
damage, 7
All right,
damage.
Still enough to kill it. So you blast right through Shoonfollow. The bullet goes right through his mouth, like kind of like you hear it like bouncing around the inside of his like weird anatomy through some hard bits in there before it tears out the side, and all of his eyes sort of like start like wilting and curling in on itself, just like curls in as like the color kind of leaves the middle of his body, and then out of his kind of head and stamen, all that, there's a huge explosion of pollen that actually creates a
God
30
damn it, Richard.
I know.
30-foot emanation that radiates outward and covers the entire battlefield.
Oh boy. Are we
So
all-
what happens is
I get reanimated. I'm coming for you first.
all of these things hit the ground, and like there's like almost like glowing, glittering spores, not dissimilar to the glowing spores that he's already wiped on his eyes. They kind of land, and everywhere they land in this patch, you watch as like tiny mushrooms instantly spring to life. This whole thing has become difficult terrain, and you realize now that like you have almost like extended this patch. It's grown bigger than it has before, and for a moment you realize maybe that's how this patch has grown over all this time. Luckily, this does not affect you guys in a negative way. There's no damage, no saving throw, nothing you have to do. But
It's just difficult terrain.
it's difficult terrain, and as these glowing spores hit the other leshies, they all like absorb and heal themselves.
Of course.
Wow,
That
I
was
wish someone had rolled a healer for us. Oh yeah, I forgot. We thought this was the mana waste.
primal
I
magic
know.
is cool. Make a primal spellcaster. Do we have?
All right.
You have one more action, right?
For my third action, I will demoralize the one right in front of me with my Raconteur's Reload. Because I used Deception last time, so I'm using... I said, I think you're next to make this patch grow bigger, friend.
Is there no limit, like once per turn on that?
Well, I think they'd be immune to...
Yeah, I know the individual
more-
one is, right?
Yeah.
But it's
No,
not. It's
there's
not.
no...
Yeah, if there's not, that's cool. I didn't realize that you could do it multiple
me see.
times. Yeah. No, it says that. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Go ahead and target the other one.
That's why I chose to invest in both Intimidation and Deception.
Bam.
Yeah, 15.
You're targeting the one closest to you.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's enough to make it frightened. You watch as you just destroyed, for instance, like his like leader, and then turn and focus on him. Yeah, he's quivering.
Alright, that's my turn.
All right. Hal, the Shoonfollow's dead.
I would like to stride over in difficult terrain, so that should be 20. And make an attack on
It
this.
should only be 10, right? Was it just 10 feet? Or was it one? Oh, 2 squares. Yeah, you're right. And he's taking cover in the other direction, so as you come from this direction, he doesn't have cover against you.
I will make a longsword snagging strike against the creature.
Go for it.
17.
I saw that 20 for a second. That's a
I
hit.
know, so close.
9 damage.
9 points of damage. You snagging strike, and you go to off balance it, but as you grab it to snag it, you realize you've ripped like half his body off, and like right where your slash has killed it, and it sort of like you look down and your face is just exploded as a huge puff of pollen shoots up and covers up your nose and covers your face. How in your beard and in your hair you're covered in glowing spores. The same thing happens here. The 30-foot emanation of glowing spores sort of covers the arena and heals the other one that's still up.
Oh, we just got back from EDC. This glitter won't come out for days.
That was 8 points of healing to the one that was over there.
Where's this
And
other
then-
one?
I think I will move.
And Anita, you're now covered in like these same spores, and underneath your feet, the thick mushrooms begin to grow. This patch has gotten a lot thicker and a lot bigger since when you came here.
Oh, I'm turned into a zombie!
That's my turn.
Okay. Saruk.
Okie dokie. Do I have a line? I do not.
11
Okay,
on the dice, yeah.
so I forget how it works. I know there's some kind of mechanic for it to like reduce the flat check for persistent damage.
Oh, you can spend 2 actions to take like the sort of aid thing, and it allows you to make an extra flat check before the end of your turn. If you have any way to specifically help in this instance besides just wiping your hands and your eyes, like for instance water, or if you're on fire or something, you might be able to get a bonus of some sort to the check.
That would take 2.
It does take 2 actions.
Yikes. So I think what we're going to do instead is Saruk is going to, with his remaining 2 actions, not attack. First one, raise a shield. Second one, we're going to 10 and 20 backwards towards Hal.
Okay. It doesn't take an opportunity attack.
And we're going to hope, and we're going to pray, and we're going to roll 1d20, and we're going to nail it.
Nice.
Perfect, yeah. So that was your persistent check, right?
Yeah, that's it. It.
So you managed to use your other 2 actions to get all the last remaining spores burning your eyes out, and without taking any more persistent damage. And because of that, you also lose the 10-foot vision. I'll update that. See normal again.
Nice.
That brings us to Anita.
Alright, first action, I'm going to throw my ever burning torch right here. I can't see anything past here. Hoping that they're doing without see. Alright, okay. So there is another one. Okay.
There is one more. 1 action to throw that, no problem.
And then for my second action, I'm gonna try and hit this fella.
He's just barely in the dim light, because of the it's 20 feet and 20. He's 25 feet away from your burning torch, which puts him in dim light.
Yeah, I'll take the damage. So a flat D20.
Yep, DC 5 flat check.
Okay. Here we go. A 12.
Yep, no problem. That's
Alright,
gonna get through the flat check. Make that attack roll.
Come on. Trouble. That's a 24.
Nice.
4. Actually, not a crit, but a hit.
Alright, perfect. So that would be 3 points of damage.
Alright.
And then, so how many is that already? 2 actions?
2 actions.
Okay, and then I'm gonna use my full movement so that'll get me here.
Let's see. And yes.
Yeah. I'll use my full movement just to get closer to the buddies right here. 2
Okay.
knights. That's the end of my turn.
All right. I think this guy, having watched, he's the last of the Shum followers, and you guys have just decimated all of his friends. He uses his last bit of self-preservation, and he runs through the patch back kind of into that thick sort of mushroom overhang. He's not affected by the difficult terrain here. He just moves through it like normal, and you watch as he attempts to hide somewhere in that space. I'm gonna make a stealth check for him. For it. Total of 11, so you all see him back there. You see it back there trying to looks around at the mushrooms, it stands perfectly still, and it closes its eyes and it hopes you don't notice it. But it's got scary ass look. You guys all see it, so whether you do something with that or not on your turn, that's up to you to decide. Roughly kill.
I'll use cover fire.
Okay. You target it with cover fire. It does duck out of the way.
Alright, so it's got a +2
Yeah, I'll give it.
circumstance to its AC. And it takes a -2 circumstance to its range attacks.
Okay.
Let me target him.
That's a critical hit.
Let's go, Rafi! Kill him!
You shouldn't have tried to eat our brains, friends.
Oh, that's some dice.
Woohoo!
That's 21 points of damage.
Let's
Awesome.
go.
Yeah, so then same thing, this thing explodes in like a giant explosion, 30-foot emanation, and you all watch like behind him there's a giant wall of scrap metal that like dividing the thing. Just boom, the spores like hit and just mushroom begins growing out of like mushrooms shouldn't grow out of metal. This magical burst makes the mushroom sort of grow, and even the scrap metal itself is now covered in a thin layer of fungus. But the last of the lushies have been dealt with, and we slowly come out of combat.
We got to get out of this fungus patch, or else we're going to turn into them things. Those were regular people before. We're going to end up like zombies like them. So let's hurry on.
All right.
Annie's already their size. We gotta hurry.
I know.
Shrinking rapidly. I think it's not gonna shit my
I
eyes.
braved it.
So, Hal, you make a break for it. You start running for the sewer pipe, and everyone's kind of following, and there's this dramatic run getting out of here. You guys are all hurt. You're all looking bad. And as you get to the sewer pipe, you hear a sort of like echoing, like sort of footsteps, and it sounds like something being dragged, and what almost sounds like a casual whistle coming from the dark, like from where the pipe sort of bends up in the head. It sounds like there's something just inside the pipe that is going to be out here in just a few minutes. I will say I'll give you 10, because I'm merciful, I will let you guys have 10 minutes to prepare. I guess you have battle
treat
medicine.
wounds.
Yeah,
Please.
I will allow, like, I think maybe we don't really have 10 minutes, but in this hurried, panicky moment, I will let you guys, in this heroic moment, anyone that has a medicine kit can attempt a treat wounds in this moment, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Trying to fix myself. Me.
Are you gonna fix yourself, or can I fix you and then you fix Hal?
I mean, I will take one from you, and I have 3 hit points.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
you
got
each get
frontline
one.
probs.
You each get one treat wounds check. So Anita
Never
with
mind.
6. Luckily, you don't hurt someone.
Hey, don't kill me, jeez.
Oh,
you've killed me!
Saruk,
I'm gonna use my hero point.
Yes,
Here's
please,
H is for
Saruk.
hero point. This is
Saruk,
why we
please hero
saved them.
point that. Richard just
Jeez.
gave Anita a hero point in chat. Thank you for that. Okay.
Okay, I'll use the
18
hero
is a
point.
success. And so instead of killing yourself, Saruk, you do heal 2d8.
Lord Jesus.
Okay, I'll
Whoever is listening.
use a hero point for mine. This is for Hal. Okay, perfect. 21.
All right, Hal, go ahead and roll 2d8 for Hal. And then also, like, Anita and Saruk, you guys have done that in that moment. That gives Ruffy and Hal a moment to do something to prepare.
9.
I'm gonna hide.
Yeah,
Hal,
go ahead.
What's wrong? Why aren't we going?
There's a zombie or something in there, and he disappears practically in the dark. I'm hiding.
Oh yeah, you just disappear into like the shadows. Yeah, go ahead and get into your places. And as you guys are getting set up exactly however you want to be, there is plenty of space, like where Hal's hiding, right? If somebody was to hide, you might be able to hide and let this thing pass you without noticing if the approach is stealthy, right? There is enough cover and stuff. Yeah, except for the giant glowing beacon of
We're all trying to hide, and then Annie's following us with this bright ass torch.
I'll find a hiding spot, and then once I get my hiding spot, I'm gonna
Just
hide.
put out the torch for now.
Yes,
Just
that's
cover it.
that's what I'm trying to do. I can't see. I can't find it. Okay, I
So-
found it.
Yeah, so Ruffy and Hal up there. Anita's gonna hide down this way. Suruk, what are you doing?
I guess I'm gonna try to hide with Anita.
I
I'm
can't.
gonna look at my stealth
See?
and be really sad. It's fine. We'll be fine. Just be quiet.
So there's like a whistling, sort of like a whistling dragging noise as kind of coming into view out of the tunnel pipe. There's like this large silhouette of something that's about to emerge. And what it is, we will find out after the break, because it is
Jeez!
break time.
We just want to get out of this damn scrapyard.
I
We
know.
will!
It's becoming a graveyard.
It is. There's so many dead bodies all over the place.
It was foreshadowing.
God.
So, yeah, we're going to go to our break. Let's see. While we're at break, take this time to support us at Recall Knowledge. You can subscribe on twitch.tv/Recall Knowledge if you're watching us on YouTube, or follow us if you're watching on Twitch, go to youtube.com/recallknowledge and support us there. You can, subscribe. Good way to follow, catch up on past shows, watch our future shows. We do a YouTube premiere every Friday afternoon. Noon. It's a lot of fun. Come watch the episodes with us. Otherwise, let's take our break. We're going to take 10 minutes, and we'll be back in 10 minutes with some more Outlaws of Alkenstar. The last thing standing between you and freedom is something. Find out what it is in just a minute.
We're never leaving the scrapyard. This is the entire AP.
This mega dungeon's real small, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's 8:30. We'll be back at 8:40. So don't go anywhere, and we'll see you. Welcome back to Outlaws of Alkenstar. I wanted to give a shout out to all the resubs we had tonight. Yellow Ducky was a gift sub, but welcome with us, who was chatting for the first time tonight. Hello, Yellow Duck Inc. And then we had that guy, Hallowed RPG, Pimp Willie, Doc Nina, and RK Richard RPG all subbing tonight. Thank you guys. Feel free to drop your own Twitch Prime sub in our channel. We won't hold it against you.
Yeah, I guess the show's been alright. I'll give it a chance.
I'll give it a chance. So, as we come back, there is that moment where something heavy breathing, a dragging noise, almost like scraping along the metal, echoes out of this tunnel as you guys all press against the walls. You guys are all trying to avoid notice as much as possible. In fact, let's open with that. Can everyone please give me a stealth check as you attempt to avoid notice? And you can make it public. I'm not gonna have you guys roll secret checks. It's fine.
I mean, I can try to roll a stealth check. I can make it. I don't know if I can succeed it.
15 on Anita, 11 on Halbrand.
I feel like this theoretically has a plus.
I'm going to use a hero point.
Natural 1 on Refikil.
This might have a +1 circumstance to it. I don't know what's going on, but it's sus.
Yeah.
So it's a 19 or a 20.
Okay. So yeah, you got the best stealth so far, even though you weren't thinking you were.
That's
19.
such a problem.
Yep, Refikil rerolls. Yep. So with Slink, so you can move even in the gloom. You can be so you can sneak across the dark, which is cool. As long as you see that you're stealthy, you don't become obscured. Yeah. So, you're rolling against the passive, the sort of perception DC of this creature stepping out of the tunnels. So as you kind of see this creature come into view, I'll go ahead and share the art because you see the very clear outline of a gnoll creature steps out of the tunnel pipe. It's got multiple eyes, almost like spider type eyes going up the side of her face. So she's got 4 eyes up the side. In one arm behind her, she's dragging what looks to be a large burlap sack big enough to be carrying a body in it. And you can watch as you guys see it wriggling and writhing as she kind of drags it behind her in the sewers. On the other hand, her eyes are kind of focused on this kind of crumpled up piece of paper as she kind of whistles to herself, eerily coming out of the sewer tunnels. And as she does so, she kind of looks at this kind of paper, stops for a second, folds up the kind of paper and tucks it into her belt. It's very clearly a map that she's using to navigate these tunnels. Steps up and looks and is immediately drawn to the giant glowing mushroom patch that is just filled the entire area, right? Glowing mushrooms, the overgrown thing. Goes, sniffs and looks. I'll share the art at this point.
Concerning.
Boom. Bristlebane's
Wow.
the mutated gnoll, carrying a burlap sack with what appears to be a person in it, and a map of the sewers. As she stops, clearly her heightened senses have picked something up. She she bares her teeth as she sort of immediately kind of goes for like a whip she has hanging on her side. Unfortunately, we have a couple of people that have not passed her sort of passive perception. So in that case, she does notice you guys. So I'm going to say everyone that, like, all your stealth checks you rolled is going to be your initiative for this combat. I'll set all of your guys' initiatives. And then she's going to roll perception. But it looks like...
Yes!
I think the time...
The gay dice are working in our favor.
Yeah.
Love wins.
Yep. So in that like tense moment, she drops the burlap sack. She's trying to get her whip out and going for it, which gives some of you that were actually pretty well hidden the drop on her. We have Saruk and Ruffy both have a 19. I don't know if you guys have a preference for who goes first.
Thinking of a number between 1 and 10.
You're whispering, Reffy.
My 10 paces gives me a +2 to initiative.
Is it not already factored? Oh, I guess it wouldn't. So yeah, that is a good point. That would make your initiative a 21, and you would go first. Good call. Okay. So with a 21, Reffy, you go first, and this thing you are hidden to it. It hasn't seemed to notice you. It's kind of looking off in this direction. Actually, I think it's looking more towards sniffing in your direction, but I will say you have got the drop on it, right?
All right, so...
Reffy's hiding behind Al.
Aha!
Free action to draw my pistol.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna shoot if I'm hidden. It's flat-footed, correct?
I will toggle the flat-footed on. Come on, Reffy. If there's a time for a good shot, this is it.
If there's a time for a hero point shot, this might be.
If you've got a hero point in chat, Reffy Kill could use one.
Happy Pride. Oh, why? It's loaded. I loaded it.
Ninna has given Reffy a hero point.
Happy Pride! Shit, my gun isn't loaded.
You gotta put the like rainbow painted bullet inside for Pride Month.
Yeah, jeez.
Woo!
It's a 22.
22.
I'll take it.
Yeah, 22 is a hit, but not a crit.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Four points of damage.
All right. 4 points of damage. Catches her like in the shoulder, and like your bullet kind of digs deep into that like meaty shoulder. She looks pretty tough. She takes it without too much of a concern.
I will use my second action to stride.
Okay.
And then third action to use Raconteur's Reload.
Perfect.
I'm going to...
Exactly.
There's more lead where that comes from. Do you really want it? And I'm gonna...
Take that roll.
17.
17 is a success against her will save, so she becomes frightened 1. You get under her skin. Maybe it was the gunshot, the surprise, but something has rattled this knoll.
And that's all my actions. That's the end of my turn.
All right, Saruk.
Okie dokie. Obviously targeting... I need to do this. No, kidding. Obviously targeting the boss at the top of the turn.
Oh, here's the interesting part, too. This is still you haven't changed your target of your leads yet, and this is a null. This is part of your leads.
It's a null.
Yes!
It's part of the nulls. It's a free action.
Girl! Okay. What does the dice say?
Ooh, the dice says it's 23.
23? Yeah, I will. I mean, why not? So that was a free action. Saruk will stride.
Oh wait, no, it's actually yeah, she's hidden to you right now, right?
Mhm.
Because you rolled stealth. If you stride,
Yeah.
you'll reveal yourself. But
I
that's
see.
right. That's part of the challenge. Right?
So then, really quickly, don't mind me. I'm just measuring all the
This is where you
things
does
that are
all these
important.
calculations. There's one version of you that runs out and clobbers it, and the other version that fires the range shot. Like there's so many different versions there for.
Wondering if I can.
It's the best.
If I were to try to sneak forward, I'd go at half my speed, so I'd get there. And then I'd be shooting still into the second range increment, so it's arbitrary. Hockey doke! So then it's a 21 with the range increment penalty.
Okay.
Versus their flat-footed and frightened 1 AC.
Yes. That will be a hit, but not a crit.
Gotcha. So then somewhere I have this thing. Blam!
Nice.
Not bad.
6 points of damage.
Oh, and the-
Being action the first.
Just one action so far. Yeah.
Poor Anita. Okay, so I think what we have to do
Fortitude is in the dark.
is...
What's
going
going
on?
on?
I'm just hearing shots and.
Growling.
Well, I think you see like the muzzle flash from the black powder goes out and just gives you a quick flash like in your face, and you see Saruk and Refugee like firing at something out there.
So then I should be able to stride. I know there's a way in Foundry to pick up your token, and it measures for you.
Hold
If I go
control.
5,
Yeah, hold control and draw
Yeah,
the line,
nice.
and then you
Nice.
can
Then
like
press space.
anchor
Space is
points
the
if you
anchor
want.
point. Cool.
Just left click anchors, and the space commits the whole movement.
Gotcha. So then 10, 15,
You know, there's actually a
20,
really cool recall knowledge video
25.
on movement in Foundry that you can check out.
Nice. I'll have to look up those people and see what they're doing. But I think I should be able to get there in 25 feet. I think.
Looks like
20,
30 to
10,
there.
15. Now, boo, fair. So then it'll be... Oh, God. Second action is stride to there for 25, and then third action is raise shield.
Okay, yep. Shield goes up. Awesome. Anita, Saruk
Oh,
runs
no,
off
no.
into the darkness.
Okay. Alright. First action, I'm taking out my ever-burning torch.
Yep, one action to
Second
kind of
action.
position it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and wield that, or put it in your hand so we can see the light.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm just gonna throw it again, the whole 20 feet for my second
Okay.
action. Right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You throw it right there, and it puts the 20 feet out. It literally, you pick a spot, you throw it, and it's just barely in the dim light.
Okay.
But you had no way to know because you just picked a spot in the darkness and threw it, right?
I did. Oh, how fun.
Actually, here's the thing. You would have taken it out, right? And when you took it out, it would have put a 40-foot beam on you. So you would have been able to see it in the dim light. So then, before you tossed it, I would allow you to pick a new square if you want to make it a little closer.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll put
So
it
you
right there.
reposition it. Because, right, it's not like you're throwing it in the darkness and it turns on. You can see where you're going to throw it before you throw it. So I'll allow that.
Would I be shooting through Saruk?
Let's see. From here,
end.
yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. I will just yell out at this knoll again, knowing that it knows coming, and say, "Oh, how wonderful it was to murder all those mushrooms!" To try and get its attention.
Okay.
Wow, the glitters! What do I roll?
Roll a society check again.
Would I care about the mushrooms or the gnolls? I mean, we did murder all of its pack. Well,
I think the actionable word here is murder.
Right.
We are capable of doing a murder. Fear us.
That would be a
Yep,
10.
that's almost what it comes out like. Is Anita tries to apply for the attention of the creature.
Mm-hmm. That's all
that's
I
all-
could do. That's
That's
the end
all
of my...
three actions. Yep. So
Oh,
that,
the blood!
that brings us to its turn. So, first action, it like goes to its hip and it like unfurls its whip and it like rolls out, and you can see it's got this long sort of whip with like shards of bone and thorny things, and it like curls out and it's got like quite a reach on it, right? The one action to draw and interact with the item and put it into its hand, and with the she looks at Saruk and makes like a whip strike. She's actually doing it's a special action. It takes 2 actions. It's called Express Meal. So she takes a whip and she whips it and she tries to like wrap it around you, Saruk. So
Oh no.
Is
she's
that
gonna
a
make
ranged attack?
it is a melee attack, but she has 10-foot range on a whip.
Oh.
It's a reach weapon.
The
So
time has come along.
let's target Saruk. It's
Ooh.
24.
The gay dice have betrayed me.
It's not a crit, luckily.
It's not
Yeah.
an ally.
So you take
Wow.
8 points of slashing damage as the thing like kind of tears into you, and then on the success, she pulls you into an adjacent square next to her. Right.
Nice.
So you get yanked, like right in front of her, and as she does so, her jaws are open, and she's ready to like chow you down. And she makes a bite strike, a jaw strike, without the it adds her multiple attack penalty, but it doesn't trigger until after she makes the attacks. Makes a jaw strike. But she rolls a
That's
2.
more like it.
Let's go, gay dice.
Good lord.
It's
Let's
an
go,
ally.
gay
It's
dice.
an ally. It's an ally.
It's still figuring itself out.
So that's all.
You're valid, gay dice. We see you.
That's all 3 actions. That brings us to Hal.
All right, Hal is going to move
Help.
here
Into the sewer pipe. Yep.
and make a snagging strike against this creature
Okay.
with his
Go ahead.
longsword.
You have a hero?
Nope.
That natural 1 is going. If you got a hero point in chat, Hal could definitely use it.
I'll use a hero point.
Oh, Doc Nina sitting all those points
Wow.
to Hal.
How
I know.
amazing! A hero point.
See, I don't have to give you guys extra hero points because you guys are out there like
Because we'll
banking
just
them
cheat.
up. But a 28 turns your natural 1 critical miss into a critical hit. Crits in chat. How crits everyone? That was a good hero point.
That was a good hero point.
This is a second chance at life.
18 points of damage. Tears in with the longsword. You spin her off balance. She's now flat-footed to everyone.
I'm going to make a map attack.
Go for it. Third action map attack. Ooh, a 15 on the dice.
Let's
19
Ooh.
will hit.
Ooh!
Nice.
Let's go, Hal!
That's a lot of damage. You tear in, but she's still up.
Fuck yes.
That's a lot of damage.
Let's go,
Yes.
Hal!
But that
Hal
was.
is over this scrapyard. He's like, "Hell,
I said out. 28 points of damage. Very nice turn, Hal. But that does bring us to the top of round 2. Reficule,
One.
all right, I'm gonna take a shot.
go for it. She is flat-footed because Hal has staggering striked her and like basically aiming like a spot right for you to finish, Refi. He's like standing behind her, but he's aiming.
Okay, Refi.
We'll take it.
19 will hit.
I kind of want. No, I won't. I don't want to risk.
I
it.
mean, we got a whole turn order. If you want to be a little
Yeah.
greedy.
4 points of damage.
Reficule, please describe as you end this
Thank
null.
you!
I'd imagine as Hal slinks and rushes behind this creepy knoll, he snags, does a snagging strike, another strike, and then the knoll, I'd imagine, howls up in pain. And as her snout is pointing up, I just put one straight through the bottom of her jaw.
Through the bottom of the jaw, out the top of her head, through one of her many eyes, as she like, ugh! And she kind of like Hal snagged her, so you're holding her weight in your arm, Hal, as she goes limp, and she kind of like falls to the ground, starts falling to the ground. The whip sort of falls out of her hand and hits the ground next to her.
I would have rolled 17.
But yeah, you have defeated the sort of what appears to be almost like a tougher leader knoll, perhaps, that was not in the camp earlier. And yeah, so what do you do with her body? You're holding her weight as she dies in your arms.
I'll just drag her off to the
She's
side.
died in your arms tonight.
It must have been something. Must have been something you said there, Sharuk, to get her all riled up and pull her in close. So,
I'm not sure who you're trying to heal, Nina, but they're
Damn
immune
it.
for an hour because you just treated them right now. I guess
you have
to
Hal.
heal Saruk.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he
drag
already
her
healed
up right
himself.
over
So
here.
he was immune for an hour, I think.
And then
Yeah.
take a look at the map, grab the map, and then Does she have any obvious weapons on her?
So her main weapon was the whip, and as you see like the whip there, you can see now like kind of melded in with the sort of like leather braiding that's going on and these bits of bones. There is like almost like glowing lines of magic that have been infused into this whip, so it does look magical.
I'll pull it to the side and then like look around, and then take the potion that I see that she has on herself, and then kind of toss it towards, narratively toss it towards Saruk, not actually, so he has to catch it.
I'm not gonna make you roll. Yeah,
It was one time.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, but I'm gonna snag that out of the air and immediately down it.
sure.
Yum, 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 yum.
The token's lootable. You can grab all that stuff on there.
Yeah, so you go
Nice.
to heal Saruk, and then you look down at the body. Hal's already dragged it away from you, Anita, and is like kind of going through its pockets. But you can move over there and take it. So you can take the map. There is a lootable map on the creature, Hal. And it looks like a crudely drawn map that kind of shows how to get in and out of the sewers from here into the city proper. In which case, like, you know, Anita, you move over to loot the body, you trip, and you realize that burlap sack is still laying on the ground next to the knoll. And you hear like, jeez, like a noise, like somebody's voice inside the bag.
Pistol comes back out.
Saruk will move over and undo the bag. If an Amurin comes out of this bag, I swear to God.
No, yeah, you kind of undo the bag and like open it, and you actually watch as a familiar face spills out of the bag. And
Aldo, what are you
It is-
doing here?
it really is Aldo Stubb
Mother-
falls out of the bag
Is
like
it
into
really?
Saruk's feet and is laying there looking up at you with his little dwarven eyes like sticking out of the the bag, looking up at you, Saruk.
Oh shit! Here, let me then pull him up to his feet. No, really, what are you doing here?
Oh, jeez, what the hell are you doing here?
I don't. I thought you were supposed to be on retreat and not in town right now at all.
Yeah, we've been. I was laying low for months, but like, it's fine. Like, no one's come around. No one's asking. Like, we're in the clear.
Fair, if you're sure.
Well, I was until tonight, and you can see he's got like on the back of his head a huge goose egg.
Oh,
I was drinking, stepped outside to relieve myself, and next thing you know, hit in the back of the head, wake up in a sack of some sort.
no, that makes sense. Drinking out in the mana waste, run into a mana waste goose. They leave eggs on your head.
No. I was in Alkenstar.
It sounded funnier in my head than it did out loud.
I was in
No,
the
but you're
city.
right.
Where? And he looks around, like, where the hell are we? Because I was just drinking oh God, where was I? And he's like, you can
Did
see
you go to the
having a
Leaky
hard
Nip?
time. No, I can't afford that place. It's too nice.
Don't worry about where we're. I'll get you home. Just follow the four of us. We were out on business, and then we ran into. I wave my mace generally at the
Yeah.
corpse and their friends.
Yeah.
So do y'all want to take like an hour and just relax? Like, I don't hear anything coming. I don't hear that.
Do I hear the distinct sounds of the cops?
Should we maybe hide somewhere in the tunnels?
But what happens
Look
have
on
when
the
you go
left
in
side
there?
of my head. I want to see how many stars are over my head right now.
You go
Maybe
in
just
there,
inside the pipe.
and then something like this thing comes crawling out at us. I'm not really
Not
sure
you,
it's
Aldo.
going to be different.
Yeah, there is a pretty clear night tonight. There's a lot of stars up in the sky. A little bit of smog kind of drifting makes it hard to see through the edge. But there is definitely a few bits of stars you see peeking out. There is the time-sensitive situation that the cops may or may not be close enough that an hour could be enough for them to catch up with you. But it sounds quiet. There's nothing in your immediate vicinity as of right now.
I suppose also, I've been in town for a while. I feel like might I be able to roll, say, an Underworld lore to are there mana waste crocodiles or geese?
Yeah, I would say I would.
That's a good
Refi
question.
would do the same thing. Thinking back on, I spent a little bit of time, probably going through the sewers
I was supposed to be
when I was
secret, maybe.
younger.
Yeah, no problem.
Would I also be able to use Underworld lore?
Yeah, make an Underworld lore here. I think also, I meant to do this before, but I forgot because the break messed everything up. But like, Anita, like when you were kind of hiding, you were like a little surprised by like this like knoll that appeared out of the sewer pipe, and for just a minute you hesitated. Actually, the minute you threw the torch and the light lit up and you saw its face, your heart skipped a beat, and there was just a second where you just remember, you blinked and you felt like you were back in like the mana waste, like in like cradled, and like your little eyes like look up and you just see that like horrendous, like vile dripping spit coming off the thing as this like angry, vicious looking knoll just looks down at you, like cradling you in its arms. And then you blinked and you were back in the moment and did everything you did, but there was just a brief vision that you had, like a familiar moment.
Oh, are we taking a break?
I don't think we have time. Unless there's something I'm missing, I think we should be able to get through there just fine without any other unexpected guests.
So Rook, with your Underworld lore check, there are no known. I mean, there's always rumors of things that like live in the sewers, like, oh, you know, there's been like rumors of gnolls that come out of the sewer and just kidnap you and take you off into the night. There's you know, no talks of gators, definitely like sewer rats, but the number one thing is that the shield marshals use clockwork dog creatures, the clockwork hunters, to patrol these sewers and keep them clean of most threats in a fairly safe way. So the most likely thing you were to encounter in these tunnels would be these clockwork hunters.
In the absolute worst case scenario, we run into a clockwork canine and then we outnumber it 4-1.
And Reficule, you get much of the same information. You haven't heard anything about the sort of tall tales of the gnolls coming and snatching, taking you off into the night. That part isn't something you've come across, although looking at the dead gnolls and the thing, maybe there was some truth to that rumor. But yeah,
It was quite some time ago that I spent some time in the sewers, so.
Yeah, and so you know it's basically it's crawling with cop bots, basically. They would mostly leave like the children alone and focus on the rats and things like that. Unless they've been given specific commands, you could like walk right past it and it wouldn't mess with you. That's what you guys.
Right. So, Annie, Tusks, what are we doing?
Let's go. We can talk and walk.
All right. Here's the map.
Is it legible and or in a language I understand?
It's just a crude drawing. There's no language to it, but it's drawn enough that you can navigate the same way that like these creatures navigated to get into and out of the city without problem.
So this map presumably takes us out of Alkenstar, unless these came from somewhere else.
Well, the thing is, right, if you look at... So I can share this map, which might make it a little clearer what's going on. So this is the map of like... Oh, I gotta activate. This is the map of Alkenstar proper. Like, this is the city map that you guys are living in, right? So down here in the Ferris Quarter, this is the Bullet and Barrel Saloon where you guys started tonight. But where you guys are now is this sort of Ironside Quarter over here on the far like western edge of the city.
Ooh.
And that is considered outside the city proper, right? Like, there's barred gates. You can't come in and out with like without it being easy. Like, there's no, oh, we're just gonna go walk over there. You're not in the city proper. You're in an old ruined part of the city that has in recent years started to rebuild itself. So Hal had to kind of show you guys the sneaky way, like out of a hole in the wall and the long way down to here. But going back, that's why these sewers are so important, because these gnolls have figured the sewer path that leads from the Scrapyard into the city proper. And from what Aldo was telling you, it sounds like they pop into the city, crack people over the head, and then drag them back for like food and or collecting trinkets. And you realize now how the little trinkets that you guys found in all the tents probably came from valuables that other people were wearing when they were snatched.
Got it. All right. Following you, Zaruk.
Indeed.
Yeah. So without too much of a problem, you guys are able to follow this map and the drawings and go kind of underneath the city. So what happens though is right as you guys are sort of just leaving the I can find it.
Roll initiative.
No. So as you're moving through the sewers, you're only a few minutes outside of the your trek, maybe like 5-10 minutes in, and you guys hear something that like basically makes your heart skip a beat, and that is the voice of Angelique Lovelace kind of echoing through the sewers ahead of you. And
Ahead of us?
like in the direction you guys are walking, you can hear the voice kind of coming down the sewer tunnel in your direction and washes over you, which not roll initiative, because after your heart skips a beat for a second, you can hear it. It sounds a little distant and a little echoey, and you realize that you're kind of standing underneath her and she's on the surface and her voice is carrying down the sewer tunnels over you guys as you move undetected.
Roll initiative.
Now roll initiative. Everybody roll your
She's
avoid
surprised.
that is- yeah, get her. So
Just
you can
shoot
only
up.
hear one half of the conversation as you guys all like try not to move, right? So you hear in her like sort of accent, I cannot do yet, and I haven't practiced.
No, you do it
No,
just
you-
fine.
you
She
have
Angelique
accent.
Lovelace.
That's the
You-
accent the entire campaign.
You are
Yeah, that's what it is.
so useless. At this point, finding them is going to be impossible. They've likely gotten back to their hideout by now. And you realize there's a pause. You're only hearing one half of the conversation. Did your contact forge that evidence we need? The evidence to arrest Yatterleby? A week? Tells them they have 5 days. Hurry it up. In the meantime, raid the usual places in Hellside and Smokeside. If you find the thieves, kill them. They were trying to kill you after all, no? You had no choice. Let the squad know that anyone who makes the killing blow gets a nice fat purse from Mugland as a thank you. Now, get out of here before I shoot you myself. You hear like a little bit of like swearing in Elvish under her breath as she kind of swings her feet up over the horse, and there's a sound of whinnying as there's like a shot of a horse that looks in the camera and just says horse noises.
Horse noises.
As she like clip-clops down and away, and you just hear the echoing footsteps of a horse above like echo as she runs away. And you guys all stop holding your breath. Realize you've made your
You're what the elves call les incompetents.
Les incompetents. Nice one. I like it. But the key, like you definitely in this moment, I guess the one person here that would know, like right, yeah, she used the name Gattleby, which doesn't mean anything to most people here, but specifically to Anita might mean a lot. But yeah. Oh, it's Angelique. Everyone hide.
Angelique, call the fucking ambulance. Call the ambulance. I'm going to kill you. And also put you in crippling medical
to a
debt.
fire station.
Yeah, no, it's funny. But yeah, you guys managed to make your way back from the sewers, and a little while later, like Aldo is like really just like catching up with you as well, because it turns out Saruk, like he's like, yeah, so I spent like a month like out on church camp retreat, and it was fun. I started, I was missing this place. I thought I'll come back and lay low. No one's looking for me. I went back home once or twice. By the way, did you leave a dog at my house?
I did. I've also been staying at your house for several months, so it's very serendipitous that we just missed each other.
Well, I haven't been home. Like you said, don't be or stick around. So I've been in other place.
Fair. But yes, I was staying there and I was watching out for the dog that we rescued from, well, when we rescued you.
I stopped. I've been a couple times. The dog's nice enough. Not a very good guard dog, though, is she?
Mm. She makes up for it with cuteness.
Right, but yeah, I mean, things have been going great. How's everything been with you?
Everything's still attached. What I'm here to do is undergoing, and it gets more and more complicated the farther we go. I don't want to say anything that might implicate you. You understand?
Oh, sure, yeah, like espionage stuff.
Sure.
And he kind of like looks at you guys and smiles and realizes like he sees how worn down and beat up and like bloody and like covered in crud you are, and he just immediately like kind of looks at his own feet and shuts up and continues walking. And about like an hour or two later, you guys emerge dripping in like sewer water and like sweat and blood, and you find yourself in the sort of not abandoned, but like one of the fairly empty areas of Smokeside, kind of where a lot of the industry is that doesn't necessarily go on right now. And you emerge from the sewers and look at each other and realize you've done it. You've completed your heist, and you are smooth sailing from here to the Barrel and Bullet Saloon, if that's where you guys would like to go. So you're in the city. You're in Smokeside. Done it. What would you like?
So we're gonna head out. Go see Phoebe. I mean, we still got time. I'm sure she's probably still awake, or at least we'll wake her up.
I mean, we've got all this gold, right? I heard Absalom's beautiful this time of year.
It objectively is, and anything is more beautiful than here. I like where your head's at, but I can't leave until I'm done. Perhaps after.
I'm just glad to be out
business here.
that damn graveyard, you know? Me.
It was a bit more, you know, in hindsight, the bank actually wasn't too difficult. Right? Stealing the gold, getting through the guards, that seemed pretty easy enough. Getting through that damn scrapyard damn near killed us.
I was hoping the Knowles could be reasoned with, but, well, here we are. Say nothing of the mushroom things.
Zombies.
No plan survives contact with reality, but I think the four of us, we did well enough. Thank you, all of you.
Yeah, you need to get back to your workshop, Anita. Let's get to Phoebe and get that gold. Maybe we can rebuild your robot. Give him some armor-plated reinforcements.
Right. We've been out here all night. I could use some coffee.
Aldo will
Anita
like
is,
at this point, if you let him sort of like make his way away from you guys and come back, and maybe he says he's gonna swing by the apartment, check on.
Hey, Aldo.
I mean, he said, no, you cannot have your apartment back.
Well-
Shit, I need it for the plot.
He kind of wants the all clear that no one's been essentially nobody's come looking for me, right? And at this point we're 3-4 months out. I'm probably fine, right?
Theoretically, if it gets bad or questionable or you get concerned, come find me and I'll make it right. And I'll pull his key out and flip it over to him.
All right.
At some point, we will need to pick up the dog.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Don't worry. I'm sure we'll run into you again, Aldo, when we save your life for a third time.
When your token is the vision for the map.
And then he like kind of puts his head down and meanders off.
Oh, Aldo,
And-
Aldo,
Oh,
hang
yeah,
on.
yeah.
You don't
Back.
tell anyone that you saw us. Right?
I mean,
Don't.
no one?
No,
No
no
one.
one.
Super secret
Absolutely
spy
no one.
stuff.
If
Well, we
anyone
know-
knows where
we
we
know
are,
where you
we
live.
know who it was that told them.
All right.
Aldo's not going to tell, are you?
Why? I mean, like Ruffy said over here, saved my life twice.
That
Exactly.
That means it's ours to do with what we will.
No, it doesn't, Reffy.
Looks back and forth from Ruffy to not sure. I'm just
Look,
he's like taking
you live
steps
here,
back.
you're from here, you know what it is, you know how corrupt the police in Alkenstar are. That's all I'm going to say about it, and you definitely didn't see us. You happened to escape the gnolls on your own ingenuity and black powder firework mastery that you have from your job, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, what gnolls, right? Wink, like overly, like comically winks as he's backing away from you guys.
And I'll wink and give him a finger gun.
As you give him the finger gun, he like trips, like walking back over like a little like part of a wooden plank and falls on his butt, and then scurries and runs away.
It was good to see Aldo again, wasn't it?
Do you threaten everyone you're happy to see, or just the people who you can get things out of?
Yes?
God damn it.
Where are we exactly? Right
In the
here?
middle of the street.
You're basically here in the middle of the street. Aldo's kind of going off towards his apartment, and you guys are probably just around the corner from the barrel and bullets.
Alright.
As long as it sounds like that's where you guys want.
On the way there, Anita would just be quiet and then look to the direction of where Kojak's house would be. And then just quietly think to herself, oh, I wonder how my dad is. And then she looks at her hatted disguise and then so tempted to use it and then sneak out of the group, but decides to put the disguise hat back into the bag of holding and just follow them. And then she sees Wyvern, and then she just quietly follows.
Oh, poor Andy.
Could I see if Reffy notices that?
You think Anita? Is it? Yeah, make a perception against her deception DC if Anita's trying to hide it. Are you trying to hide it?
I was trying to hide it, yeah.
Yeah. So make a perception check. What's your deception DC, Anita?
Not that high, 11.
I rolled
enough.
pretty poorly. 10.
High enough for Ruffy. But Ruffy
Almost, Ruffy.
does not notice.
But yeah, she's all the way in the back.
Yep. And we trudge our way up towards the Bullet and Barrel Saloon, and you see that like kind of weird porch that's kind of sits outside the Barrel and Bullet. It's got this porch built that is just full of like old, discarded, empty kegs. It's not even centered on the front of the building. It's just built in like this weird, like askew way. And hanging there is that like sheet metal tin sign with like the barrel that has an actual bullet hole in it, and with a little like rifle kind of hanging from the bottom. There's no name on it other than this Barrel and Bullet that hangs there, and that is why this is called the Barrel and Bullet. My camera just froze it a very awkward.
I was like, is
The
that
barrel
just
and
weird?
bullet balloon!
Did he freeze in the stream too? Hang on, wait.
Yeah, my
it did.
camera's frozen like at the store. So might have to.
Everybody pause your
We
fucking
should all
X,
do
but-
it.
We're here, and then like they were like here,
Here.
you know?
I think I would
I can't believe Steve is dead.
let Saruk and Refugio go in and kind of tug on Anita's arm before she heads into the saloon, and I reach out with
Boys.
my closed fist and like force money into it and close her hand really quick, and then follow the rest of the group in.
What? Ow. What is... Can't hear God.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay.
What was that?
Yeah, I got my camera fixed.
Did it.
So you have to
Did
take
it!
this money. I'm offering it to you. So take it in Foundry.
Use code recall knowledge. One word.
Nice.
Wow, there's so much. Thank you. PayPal.
Oh. Yeah, we make our way up to the front, and
Take the rest of
you
it.
fight. He's still trading more and more stuff.
I
Take
can't
it,
carry
inbound.
anymore. I'm literally dragging my feet just to get in here. I don't know if you could hear me
Encumber.
panting. But I was the
We can
entire
make change
time.
inside. Let's go.
All right.
And we're up on the porch of the Barrel and Bullet Saloon, and like you kind of can see that inside. It's mostly dark, but there is like a single like flickering lantern on from inside. As you
How long has it been since we left?
So you guys, it was about
Like 8, 10.
Yeah, you guys have been gone for probably 4 or 5 hours all told there and back.
Wow.
Oh, actually, no
Damn.
longer because you guys took a few hour breaks. So
Mm.
it's probably been about 6 hours, and we're just a few hours. It feels like months.
I am this tired.
Okay.
Indeed.
So you're standing at the front door. You knock. Is that a knocking motion?
Yeah.
There's like a knock, 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 and like from inside you hear the heavy sort of like footsteps coming through the quiet inside of the tavern, and kind of looking out the like sort of like peephole slides over, and you see a single like eye look at you and look you like up and down, and closes, and you hear like latch snap click, like 18 locks on the inside of this door all like opening, and then the door swings open, and you're now at the Bullet and Barrel Saloon with Phoebe Dunsmith, who's standing here, looks sleepy in her eyes, like maybe you've just woken her up. And she like looks at you and looks like past you, like down the street. It's like, in, hurry. And like kind of closes the door behind you and like clack, snick, like locks all the doors. You look around. This place was pretty crowded last time you were here. There's still about like 6 or 7 people here that are just sleeping on the floor of the bar. The floor looks disgusting. It's covered in like God knows what. Vomit, spilled drinks, like half-eaten lollipops stuck to someone's face. It's a disgusting like peanuts. Yeah, Ruffy.
Cirque's gonna run across.
You're
Aldo,
muted,
you
Ruffy.
have an apartment. What are you doing?
Ruffy takes a lollipop.
Off the guy's
God
face.
damn it.
That's where I left this.
But it seems like some people have sort of used this as like a sleeping hall at night. And Phoebe like looks at you guys and she's like, "You idiots! You didn't rob it already, did you?"
It was more efficient to go by night.
What?
Less bystanders.
That's impossible. Like no one could get into the safe, right?
Anita, if you would.
Here. What are you?
She opens the bag and like looks down and looks at you kind of confused and looks down at the bag.
Yes, I know.
And, like,
it's not a robot.
Pulls out like a giant robot thing and like kind of unceremoniously like lets it hit the floor.
Oi!
She's very attached.
Looks down at the safe and her eyes go wide as she like kind of looks at all of you. I don't know what to say. I'm impressed. I was sure this was impossible.
We make the impossible possible.
You can see here that some of the people are kind of like your conversation is stirring some of the people awake. So she's like, let's get somewhere a little more private. And she kind of pulls you guys with her and motions for you to follow her back to that sort of same room that you guys had been in earlier. Oh, Aldo's not here. Hi, Aldo.
I was about to say, God damn it, Aldo.
Aldo, go the fuck home.
Aldo.
Yeah, so you guys come into this private meeting room. She shuts the door behind you. I'll let you have the corpse of Wybert.
How generous.
Ah!
Yeah, and she go ahead.
You can say, what would you like to drink? And then do you want anything to eat? First couple of things you can say. Second thing is answer.
The kitchen's closed. It's pretty late. I can get you anything you want to drink. Sure. Sorry.
All right, that works for me. Do you happen to know where there is a workshop?
What kind of workshop are you talking about? Like,
And I look over at the rusted out robot where we can put that thing back together. I'm sorry, where we can put Miss Mendoza's companion back together.
No worries. Yeah, no, actually, I got one out back.
Oh,
Call it the Bullet Works.
the bullet works.
Yeah.
Is someone in there as well? Or it's just empty?
I rent it to would-be aspiring Miss. Such.
I'm not aspiring. I am so could I. After I've rested, my brain is just.
As
It's
you're
not a
saying
big
that,
brain.
She's
Mushrooms
dumping.
wanted to eat it.
She's dumping the giant like bag of holding out onto the floor. Rick, can you do me a favor? Can you just roll me a d20?
I can do that.
Let's see if there's a wild magic as she tries to retrieve the dice. Okay.
Oh,
We're fine. We're fine. Okay. We're fine. A 4 is
someone's
good
gonna
enough.
be depressed again and
The
manic.
back, the giant chest of gold of this
It's the
ornate
first day
chest
of Pride.
falls out of the bag of holding onto the table, and it's basically like leaves almost like a chunk as it takes some of the wood, a divot out of the wood, and it like lands with a huge thud, and you can hear the whole table creak underneath it. And her eyes are like super big, and she see her like crack a smile, which she very rarely does. And she looks at you, Anita, and she says, "Honey, you brought me this. I will surely give you access to my workshop. Besides, I have a feeling we're going to be doing a lot of work together." She kind of taps the top of the chest. And as she does, she kind of like goes into her pockets and she pulls out like a set of really finely crafted thieves tools. And she begins like working at it, and she just kind of looks up and says, "So, what happened?" Starts working and waits for you guys to tell her. So what do you guys tell her about what happened?
Someone tell
Everybody
us
looks
I
at
really gotta
Saruk.
pee.
So we went in through the back. There was an altercation involving the robots and some of them. I don't know if I want to in-universe say some of the capitalists, but I out of character want to say some of the capitalists.
Mhm.
Some of the people who had invested in the bank, and then at which point Saruk pulls the journal and sets it on the table. This is written mostly in, flips it up in Dwarven, I believe it was.
It is.
Slides it over. I don't know if this means anything to you, but I imagine it implicates a lot of people. From there, we got waves over to safe. We made it out through the sewers. There was an issue with mutated gnolls, fungal beings, and oozes and machines gone wrong, but
Zombies.
here we are.
The escape routes tended to be a bit harder than the actual bank job.
Really? I've never heard anyone talking about the escape route being harder than robbing. Well, like how? Okay, first of all, who managed to get in the vault?
Annie made short work of it. Annie and Tusks.
Gotta say, there's not many people I think I would have trusted to do a lock like that, but continue to surprise me.
I mean,
Good
isn't that why you got us out of the prison? Unless there's another reason.
You can. She looks at you and she smiles, but she doesn't say anything, and kind of looks back. Look, I didn't. Look, you guys are the experts. If this is the best way to do it, this is the best way to do it. I just thought
We were expendable.
actually not as expendable as you might think. He looks at you and kind of like has like a stoic, serious look on her. And she says, no, not expendable. Just I had to know I could trust you. And she, in that moment, clicks and gets the lock like undone, and like flips open the lid and kind of tilts it over. And you can see as she spills, the entire table is covered in like hundreds of like silver and gold coins. Yeah, like a huge sort of pile of coins. It ends up being, well, anyways.
Who took eye for numbers?
Yeah, who can like do that, right? Nobody can see. It's more money than probably any of you have ever seen in your life. Although, sadly, mostly in mostly in silver. But there are some sparkling gold in here, and she begins like sort of stacking the coins into piles of 10, and asks that you guys help her like sort of sort and stack the coins as you guys talk. So that
I'll
Lovelace,
take a look at it.
he was on your case.
Of course she was.
I mean,
Oh, but yeah.
no, I just, she's clearly much. This I want to say fulfills myself. This. I had suspicions that Lovelace and Muglin were working close together, but for her to be that vested in his private funds lets me know that we definitely hit him where it hurt.
Oh, they're definitely working together because as we were leaving the sewers, we could overhear her hollering at her people. Like, get these thieves, Muglin will pay you a big purse if you get them, whoever does the killing blow. So they've communicated. I imagine they communicated quite regularly.
There's a name too. I don't remember.
Gattleby.
Oh right, yeah. They talked about Vashin. I think they wanted to something about an arrest for Vashin Gattleby. Are you aware of that?
Kind of like stops and looks at you and like kind of like sizes you all up and heard that. Like,
Yep.
Shit, that's the second source I've heard the same thing from. Yeah, Gattleby's
Yeah.
just
I think so.
this kind of kooky scientist. Invented something recently that was kind of important.
Well, hang on a second.
And
Is
she's
this
like-
about that thing that he did at Blithit? It was all over the paper.
Oh yes, that's exactly what
Ironite.
it's about. Why? You know of it, and she like looks around the table at everyone.
Talked about it some. He tried to show us how, of course, that's how the entire explosion happened in the first place, was that he was showing this compound, I believe, that he invented in front of the entire campus. And he miscalculated. And instead of having a small demonstration, he unfortunately took down a huge chunk of the building.
Miscalculating might be how he saw it, but it's not how some of the power play. We'll get to that. And she's continuing counting. She's like, "Oh, before I go any further, I need my hats back."
No. Lucky.
So, you can buy it off me for 15 gold of your share. And she looks at like the pile of gold in front of you.
Hey.
How much is our share?
Well, we're getting there. You're looking and you're getting towards the end of it. I think Ash kind of finishes counting it out. Everyone gets 30 gold from the heist.
Can I do an
Hey.
installment plan with you?
There's
Yeah.
300. There's like 300 gold worth of coins in there, and each of you got a 10% share. So each of you got 30 gold.
Nice.
I'll take
She
it. I'll
gets-
look her.
She gets the other, 160.
It's a nice bit of change and coin, but this isn't even a drop in the pond when it comes to Muglin's pockets. So where do we hit him next?
Indeed.
Well, that's an interesting question because this is everything that was in the vault? Like there wasn't more?
Saruk showed you the ledger. There was stuff in the vault that we took. Took as
The
much as
ledger's
we could.
encrypted. She looks at it. She's gonna need some time to sort of decrypt it, right? So
There
might
was a
be
bunch of.
You gave us the target, we infiltrated, and we got the target.
Yeah, my point is, if Muglin was really had so much cash, why is this all? Surely that vault could hold more than one chest, right?
Does Muglin strike you as the type of person who would lay all of his eggs in one basket?
She smiles.
Particularly
She looks like
wise
she's
weasel hides things
she's
in
like-
more than one place.
not sure. Why don't you tell me?
From what I hear, I don't think so.
But I hear getting desperate. She goes back, like kind of finalizing each one, and she looks at you, Anita, and she says, "Sure, you want to do an installment plan? That's fine. You can pay me over time, and when you pay me the 15 gold, you can have my hat." And she like snatches her hat back from you. Like, I have a finale next week. Very important. We need these.
All right.
Damn theater nerds.
Yeah. Exactly. So if
We'll get
you
back
did get
to
30
you.
gold, if you do want to buy it, she will let you keep it, but she is going to charge you 15 gold for it. She also takes, I think it was it 2 or 3 gold for the thieves tools that you guys fronted?
I think I'll just give him back.
I'll keep mine.
Okay. Yeah, she'll sell it to you, whatever the cost is. Deduct
So
that
I'll
from your
get,
30 gold.
right.
Phoebe,
And she like,
could I rent the disguise hat just when I need it? Could I rent it? How much would it be if I could?
you have it for gold a day.
A gold a day. All right.
As
Not
long
now. I don't need it.
as long as it's not production day or rehearsal.
And when are your production days?
Well, our finale is next on whatever day it is right now.
All right.
We just-
I'll do it prior to that.
And she smiles and she stops. You can see now, she's like, so the drinks. I'll go ahead and grab you your drink. It's like 4 a.m, right? She points and looks and sees what you guys want.
Something
Celebration.
really strong.
Indeed, 2 of
Something
them.
stiff.
Coffee for me, thanks.
Not mushrooms.
I'll
Anita?
grab a sparkling water, please.
4 whiskeys and like leaves.
Hey, and I'll take this whip and put it on the table to the group after she leaves and say, this interest any of you?
Only
Whip.
in the sense that I feel some resentment when it cut into my shield arm.
Yeah, it looks, you'd be all right in a little while. Well, maybe a few weeks. Do you think Phoebe knows some fence that can, we can get some coin off this? And looks like it's worth a little bit of money.
Yeah. I'll pull the cold iron, set it on the table. Unless any of you are cold iron smiths or you're afraid that demons are going to turn the corner and attack you, I don't see much need for this, and it should fetch some money.
There were the demons out on the mana wastes that turned into gnolls that ended up being mushrooms. It was
Then zombies.
I don't
right?
think you need any more whiskey.
I think you breathed in a bit too many of those spores. Oh,
There's still some residual glowing, like,
on my
pores of
beard.
his beard.
So
oh,
some
this was
residual
also
hallucination.
from the Knolls, and I'll put down the. Who didn't get silver from the Knolls?
I didn't get silver.
I'll count out 12 silver to Saruk.
Nercy? I gotta learn how to say her name, but she gifted a sub in chat. Thank
Andrew.
Norasi. Norisi. You. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Right, so
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Anita. I was
I
just
was
gonna wonder where
thinking-
that whiskey was, but I can wait.
oh,
Yeah, she's left you guys for like a few minutes. You can hear her getting it.
she's still in her nightgown. I don't think she's really in the mood to bartend for us at the moment. But I'm assuming this is where you and I are gonna stay. Where will you two be staying? Gave your
The million
people-
platinum question. I was staying at Aldo's, but if he's back, I don't want to just keep imposing. I don't know.
I've got a few spots that I go to in Hellside,
You
but
spot- Hold on a second. My ears
I'm
are
not
ringing.
sure if Hellside is the place to go to over here in Lovelace.
Hmm.
I mean, there's a place behind that brothel that we went and visited that I stayed in for several months. It's got a nice lean-to, and the lumber that leans against the wall isn't really rickety, so it keeps most of the rain and soot and all that stuff, acid rain out. I mean, we could all stay there, and if you need somebody to give you a hug, you can just go right around the corner.
Is that far
Could
from
ask-
here?
It's just right around the corner there.
Could ask to stay here tonight or today, at least.
Like on the floorboards, like the other drunks that are outside all pissed.
Weren't you just in prison for like 3 months?
I know, exactly. I would love a bed.
I'm sure Phoebe would be more than happy to let us sleep in nice, comfortable beds after all of the dismantling the oppressive system of this evening.
I mean, I'll sleep in the common room and above that.
At least for a few days. The heat's gonna be pretty high. After, especially once rumors start to spread about what happened. The coin might hurt Muglin's pockets. It's the blow to his pride that he's going to be furious about.
Yeah, people like that don't like having their egos kicked around. So we stay here for a few days, we fence the stuff that we got, and then, what, on to Hellside to help your friend, Anita?
Well, I mean, how long do you think it's going to take to kill Jerome back there, Miss Mendoza?
Day. I mean, if someone could help me, then it would definitely be a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I'll help you. We all. Yeah. Well,
Well, you know the last time I tried to help you with Wybert?
Yeah.
Around this time, the door sort of opens as Phoebe comes back, and she's got a little serving tray, and you can see she's got 3 whiskeys, a sparkling water, and a cold cup of coffee. Kind of puts everyone's drink down in front of them, slides it over. All right, coffee's been off for a few hours now.
It's fine.
2 new beginnings, and she goes to make a toast and coffee. Right? She's like, new beginnings, new friendships, and to what comes.
a nice, comfortable bed for the night on the house.
That's the least
If you would
you've
be so
earned.
kind.
Absolutely, it's the least you've earned. I got 2 rooms upstairs. They're yours.
To revenge.
I
To
drink to that.
revenge. And she lifts her cup and then takes the drink of her whiskey.
Here.
And as she kind of takes it, she looks down and you watch as she's swirling the sort of little bit of whiskey left, and she's got a smile curling up the side of her mouth. And in her other hand, she unfurls the shotgun she has strapped across her back, and she takes the shotgun off and she just leans it dramatically on the table in the middle of everyone. And she says, "Well, now I suddenly have a lot of dirt on each one of you, don't I?" Laughs. She kind of takes her holster that she had off her back, unfurls it and puts it down on the table in front of you guys. "We lost Tommy. What happened?"
Nothing. The rumors of my death. Oh, I'm gone on everything. Heck,
No, we can hear
We
you.
can hear you. I just can't see you.
the
anymore.
ghost of Tommy. You see, I got killed by the gnolls, and I've taken the ghost archetype.
We just imagined Saruk all along. It was fun.
Yeah.
It's that damn back button, isn't it, on the mouse?
It's
Yeah, he
just
jinxed
me,
himself.
Reffy's conscience, floating around, chastising him, and finding a link to click and not hit the back button so he can rejoin the Zencaster.
No, you're on.
I mean,
Zencaster's
God
good, yeah.
Ninja.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Video
other
ninja.
thing.
So
And then
she's
close the other one.
we'll be getting back to it. So she's like, suddenly have a lot of dirt on each one of you, don't I? And she's got a smirky smile on her face.
Well, considering we're on both side, I think that's that's good dirt to have. So
Sure,
I'm not
sure.
really worried.
Mutual respect, mutual assured destruction.
Mutual revenge. Yeah, like Refugio put
Yeah.
it.
Right, but y'all are outlaws, right? Y'all told me how innocent you were, right? Some of you. side glances at Refikil. Now, I got you on armed robbery, obstruction of justice, trespassing, evading the law. What a rap sheet you guys built tonight.
Money laundering, fencing stolen goods, all that stuff.
She's looking at Hal like she's putting all this stuff on the table, and Hal's just like it's going right over Hal's head.
He used to be a cop. Did you know that?
She leans against the table and stretches so casually. I guess this means it's time for me to tell you a little something about me. I'm not. She like looks around. She's like, I'm not just a saloon owner for starters.
You're also someone who solicits criminals to perform crimes.
Exactly. And once I have those criminals under my thumb, it's my job to make sure that they do what they're supposed to do. And you watch as she kind of smiles and looks at you. She's like, in fact, I work for a very powerful, someone you're no doubt familiar with. And she pauses, and you can see like the sort of theater nerd stage. She's ran through these lines in her head dozens of times to prepare for this moment. She's trying to like really make this moment hit hard, and you guys are just kind of looking at her like it's not hitting the way she wants, and you can see her panicking.
Saruk is just slowly reaching down for his mace.
Line.
No, she looks. She can see you going for your hand. She kind of like puts her hand casually on her gun. Honey, if you draw on me, it'll be the last mistake you ever make.
You realize this sounds like you've walked us into a trap, yes?
No, not a trap. Like I said,
who do you work for?
Her other hand is like going inside of her like vest pocket, and she's going for something. She kind of pulls it out slowly, and she's got something in the palm of her hand. And she like extends her closed hand and opens it, and there's like a small ring with a little signet symbol on it. So, anyone that wants to can give me a Recall Knowledge Society check, or a if you have Alkenstar lore, then you would not even need to make a roll. That's right.
I got the free Alkenstar lore from GM Steve.
That's right.
Can I just use a player guess?
You can use a player guess. Yeah.
Forgot to make it a
You don't have to make a roll, but if you want to make a roll, you're free to.
Okay.
Sure.
I mean, me and Anita grew up here. I'm pretty sure we would know the ruling house's signet ring, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. But you've been on...
Oh.
Yeah, I guess just for being on that side of the law, you would know the signet.
I mean, especially with how I spend most of my youth and teenage years.
Right. And this is the symbol of the Grand Duchy of Alkenstar. This is the Duchess Trietta Rusia's. Rusia? Yeah. And she just holds it up to you guys. And some of you guys immediately recognize it, and some of you, like Anita, doesn't. And maybe Saruk doesn't, because you're pretty new here too. And
so
she's like,
so that is the signet ring of the Grand Duchess Neresia. All right, got you.
And she Neresia, nice. Closes the hand, tucks it away, and does Grand Duchess ring a bell? And she's like, like laughs like over the top, and like out of one eye peers to see how you guys are responding. Over the top.
Wait. So you work for the systems in place in this place make no fucking sense. Go on.
I work for the Grand Duchess. And since you work for me, you now work for the Grand Duchess.
Congratulations, Refikil. You just got yourself a steady job.
I'll take that whiskey now.
I'm not your dad.
She's like, are you surprised?
What does she have against like Muglin or Lovelace?
It's all about a balance, honey. All about a balance.
It's okay. It's very good to have friends in high places.
I've had friends in high places. sometimes the higher the friends, the farther the fall.
I feel like the higher places in Alkenstar are surprisingly more low than we give them credit. I need so much context. Is the Duchess also as bad as everyone else, or just scans the room?
Rolled a 10 on my recall knowledge. I don't.
No. The Duchess always has the Alkenstar's best in heart. Sometimes she just isn't able to get her hands dirty because of politics. That's where I stand.
It also helps if you live on the sky side.
Anyway, you guys have been through enough.
Mm-hmm. Where's the beds?
Get some rest. We got a new job. I'll tell you more about it tomorrow, but yes, it's about Muglin. And looks at like you, Anita, specifically, out of everyone else, singles you out, says, "You may just be the key we need to blow this whole thing wide open."
What?
And then Anita goes, "What?" And then it fades to black. And so it goes to black, and there's a voice, and all we hear is sort of like the little, I'm telling you, I don't know anything. And there's like the smacking noise of like fist on flesh, and the camera pops in, and there's a man. His face is bloody. His teeth are like broken out. There's this angry dwarven woman who is just pounding his face. And she's like, "You're the only one left alive. You must have saw something." And then the guy's just like, No. One of them was Angelique Lovelace. I mean, she was robbing the bank. One of them said, smacks him in the face. Oh, like blood trickles. Like, oh. One of them said, "Right, tell Muglin we're coming for him." But he said it in a way like it sounded like Muglin. You know what I mean? Like you know the way Muglin talks, right? Oh, well, blood like in his mouth. Like I'm coming. Tell Muglin I'm coming for him. I mean, I can't do it. I'm bleeding. You know what I mean? Whoa! Smacks him in the face. And then
Muglin's Hindi? I had no idea.
And then like there's like, "You've told us all this. There's something." And the man's like crying. No, he's like, wait, no. Yes, there was something. And then this like dwarven woman's face like comes into the light, and we see his like bloody swollen face. He's like, "There was a robot." And then that's like where we end the episode, right?
Why didn't we get Wybert out of disguise? Damn it.
So that is going to do it for us tonight, this week in Alkenstar. Big thanks to Nina, Richard, Ricardo, and Tommy for playing with me. It's been fun. We finished Chapter 1 tonight. That was the end of Chapter 1. That means we were starting Chapter 2. And thanks to our milestone leveling system, you guys level up to level 2. All right.
Yes, thank
Finally.
you, Jesus. Fuck level
Take that,
one.
level 1. Eat shit.
I know. Fuck's
So now
sake.
we get to open up the
Finally.
doors to some cool character options. At level 2, you're going to get cool choices. And we are using the free archetype, archetype feature. So you all will get some free archetypes to layer onto your characters and round them out a bit. I'm excited to see the choices you guys make. So make sure we do that before next week's session. I'm excited. I don't know if you guys want to give any sneak peeks or choices, or do we want to like save it for next week? What's up, Rick?
If you want to find out what we're going to do, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/recallknowledge, where we post all the spoilers and everything. Give you some
Honestly.
behind-the-scene chats in our Discord server. And, if you like what we're doing and want to support us, just check us out at patreon.com/recallknowledge. There's a bunch of freebies up there of a bunch of different things. So appreciate it.
Yep, good
And
segue,
you get to
Rick.
be one of our a Grand Duchess in our campaign.
Yeah, you get to be the quest giver. You get to give Refi a job with the law. This took a fucking turn. I thought I was the weird character. Apparently not.
Yeah, apparently not. You're right at home. I mean,
heck,
this is more of a Suicide Squad situation, right?
Yeah, we're freaking CIA now.
Yeah. So, big shout out in this moment because Rick made a good segue here. Thanks to our patrons who support us and make this stream possible and the videos you guys see. Big shout out to David Sims, Derek Brewer, and Sandra Wagner, our current patrons.
Guys.
You too could get your name up on this list. All you got to do is go to patreon.com/recallknowledge, get the sneak peek about what our characters are going to choose next week, get the special Discord roles where you can be in the special Discord subscribers chat where we have very close chat with our patrons and Twitch subscribers, and overall just have a good time. So big thanks, you guys make this possible. Thank you. Also, while we're on it, big thanks to Molten Hosting for providing our server hosting and making it so easy. Referral code Recall Knowledge for your first month. One word.
Horse noises.
Check them out at moltenhosting.com. Again, happy Pride Month. I used the Pride dice. Didn't kill you guys.
You did.
It was I know, it rolled a natural 20. What are you talking about?
Well, you know what? Just wanted to add some dramatic flair.
Some drama.
Yeah.
Oh, how typical.
Yeah. Happy Pride Month indeed. So we're going to be back next Wednesday, June 8th at 7 o'clock Pacific to play through Chapter 2 of Punks in a Powderkeg. Any other shout-outs or sign-offs you guys want to give?
Be safe, everyone.
Yes.
Put your masks
Dying
back
is banned.
on.
God fucking mood.
Right. Oh my god. Well, until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you guys in the streets of Alkenstar. Goodbye, everyone.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Or don't, you know.
Portion of
Reverse psychology. No, dude, get back here!